Away we go. What's up, guys? I brought
What's
some
up?
friends along for this one. So, Coach, we got the biggest what ifs, and this time it's going to be an NCAA football edition, the college edition.
There we go.
So we got an LSU fan and a Texas A&M fan in the house
Fine.
to talk about some of these. So this should be a lot of fun. We've been putting these together for a while. So let's dive right in,
glad
Coach.
Part of this.
Start it. Yeah, no problem, Goose.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Coach, go ahead. Start it off, bro.
Okay. The thing about this one is, because it changes the scope of college football. What if realignment never happened? And more than anything, I'm talking about 2011, the most recent one. You know, when Nebraska went to the Big Ten, Colorado went to the Pac-12, A&M to the SEC, Missouri to the SEC. You know, when all that, the most recent shakeup.
I mean, question.
Conferences would look drastically different.
I mean, they were gonna expand eventually, but LSU was looking at A&M. I'm sorry, SEC was looking at A&M the year before 2011, and y'all decided to stay in the Big 12.
Yep.
I guess y'all
Money.
for whatever reason, y'all decided to stay in the Big 12 for one more year, and then the following year, that's when Missouri and A&M went to the SEC, and then of course, Nebraska left the Big 12. There were talks that Texas was going to go to the Pac-12. So
I remember that. I remember that. Hearing that Texas, when the realignment thing was going down, that Texas could possibly go to the Big 12.
yeah.
And,
Pac-12, yeah.
And Oklahoma to the SEC.
Right, but then I think that got nixed. That got nixed because of
Oklahoma State, yeah, because they have to play they have to play each other, and the SEC really didn't want Oklahoma State.
They didn't want them, yeah. They didn't want them. they would want Oklahoma, but not Oklahoma State.
Right. I think about it too in the the Manziel 2012 year.
Yeah.
If they were in the Big 12, would they have a shot to win the national championship that year?
Possibly.
I mean, or at least playing one.
It would have been.
Or at least playing
really
one.
Close.
See, 2012 was.
That was Texas. Texas was down. Oklahoma wasn't very good that year because A&M beat them by 40 in the Cotton Bowl.
I'd have to go look back. I'll have to go look back at the Big 12 standings that year. I'm gonna look it up.
Then Bama won the national championship that year.
College Football Frenzy came in here and he dropped one that I don't know if we got, Coach. This is a good one.
Oh yeah. That's the lateral. Yeah.
Oh, him trying to make a play. Yes. The crap he got away with all year. The crap, yes.
Yeah.
I think USC wins that game if he doesn't do that. Honestly,
they had all the momentum.
Because that game was determined by like 1-2 plays. It was that even, where one play was going to decide the game. And just like when Lindale White didn't get that fourth down, the game was over with. You knew that Texas was going to go down there and score at the end.
Yep. That's I didn't even think about that. Like that, and again, that game has been played on the Longhorn Network for like
it's probably on right now.
Yes. I mean, that's probably their major program is the 05 national championship game.
Yeah. Because in the last since 1970, that's been their lone bright spot. Because
What's up, Enzo? What up,
They've
Texas
only won
Savage?
one national championship since that I think it was 1970. They won. Then they won in 2005. Now what have
So
go ahead,
So
go ahead,
Texas said the Texas Savage says that the Longhorns would crush the Pac-12.
You can't.
I
Come
think
on.
most of it.
They would be better than UCLA, California, Arizona State. Arizona. I mean, if USC had their shit together,
Yeah.
then USC and Texas could probably be the top 2 teams in the Pac-12.
Oregon.
But Oregon,
I would
Oregon,
most of that Pac-12 though they could handle.
I mean, but if USC had their shit together, which they don't right now,
Yeah.
Which is a shame because
They- yeah, there's no reason why they should. There's no reason why they should stink.
100%.
So Kentucky Hunter says that was a close game against Notre Dame in 05.
I was at that game actually.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, the Bush push.
Bush
The
push.
Bush push,
I
yeah.
have to give you the story about it because this was right after Katrina. Okay. So I actually was living in Atlanta with my friend in Atlanta. Well, he buys and resells tickets. Well, Notre Dame was going to pull his season tickets the following year if he didn't go to a game. So I was already up there. He goes, man, let's go to the Notre Dame. Let's go to the Notre Dame USC game. We have tickets. He goes, because the ticket broker said they were going to pull my seat, so we're going to show up and pick them up at will call, and we did. And I went to the Bush push game. I was sitting like in the Notre Dame section, the opposite end zone of where that happened. So yeah, that was an exciting game. Actually, to be somewhere where you didn't have a rooting interest, where you can enjoy the football game, that was like awesome football game. But yeah, Notre Dame should have won, but yeah, that was a game.
That was
Oh, yeah.
that was
Bush
a
push,
good,
man.
that was a really good. That was one of the
Bush
better.
push.
That was one of the better games of probably the last 15 years.
Yeah, up until that point, up until 2005, yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
What up, LeBron? What's Moto Gaming? What's
But
going
LeBron
on,
James
guys?
in the house? LeBron's here?
LeBron
LeBron
MVP.
in the house. What up, LeBron?
Man, LeBron James, awesome, man.
So college football dropping another fire one. This is pretty good.
What's that
We'll
one
get to this. We'll talk about this real quick, and then
Okay.
we'll jump into the next one on the list. So he says, "What do you guys think about this?"
What if Bama doesn't get to the Natty over Okie State in 2011?
In 2011,
Well, LSU probably wins.
I was gonna say, the Tigers probably win that year. Then
And in 2019 might not happen for LSU because Les Miles might not have gotten fired in 2016. Things might have been different if they had beaten Oklahoma State, and because that would have been Les Miles' second national championship that he had won. So there might not have been much of an uprising to fire him, and Coach Orgeron would be somewhere else probably. So it's
would he still be out west? Would Coach Ope still be out
he
west?
might be.
Probably.
He probably. Yeah, I mean, because if Les Miles, I mean, if he wins that national championship, there's no telling how things would
Long
have
they
turned
would
out.
keep
But
him.
it put LSU in a downward spiral when they lost that game.
Yeah.
It really put them in a downward spiral.
Weren't
that
they?
that
Weren't they
never
heavy?
recovered.
Weren't they heavy favorites to win that game too?
I think it was close. I don't think they were heavy favorites, but it was close. But Alabama kicked their ass in that game.
Well, Was that year the 9-6 or
yeah,
like
same year? Yes, 9-16.
9-6 game at LSU or
Alabama.
at?
It was
That's right, at
Tuscaloosa.
Bama. That's right. That was a good game. I freaking enjoyed. I love that watching that game.
It was nerve-wracking for me, but yeah.
Back and forth and back and forth.
But I mean, yeah, because that's a good question. Because if LSU does win that, it might have put it could have changed LSU's fortunes. It could have made them one of the dynasties in that 2010s. But because that loss really did put them in a downward spiral, and it led to Les Miles getting fired. That's good. That's a good question now, because I think 2019 would not have happened if LSU wins in 2011. I don't think Orgeron would have been the coach. So, but it's kind of a LSU fan? What do you want? Do you want the 2011 title or 2019 title? So,
I would
True.
take
I don't think
the.
I don't think we'd want both. So.
I would
Yeah.
rather y'all have the 11 title because y'all will still be doing what y'all did in the eye with two receivers, not the wide open offense y'all had this last year, and it made y'all a little more easier to defend.
Yeah.
Instead of that wide open. I mean, again, like as an A&M fan that roots against LSU,
Yeah.
you know, 1 or 2 times a year.
I got you. I'd rather, if I had the choice, I would pick the course that we're going down right now,
Oh yeah,
as opposed to winning in 2011.
because that's what 11 would have been. What 5 years removed from Saban? Is that right?
Let's see, Saban left in 2000 after 2004 season.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay, a
Anonymous
little more
in
than
here.
that.
What up,
A
Anonymous?
little more than that.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you, man.
Anonymous in the house.
Anonymous, yeah. I'm alive, Anonymous. I know he was asking about me because Amir texted me. He said, "Man, Anonymous was asking about you." I just been busy with work. You know, I do have a job, not YouTube. I know it's kind of hard to. I know people they might not know that, but yeah, I do have a job. So
You got bills. You got
It's not
bills you got to
YouTube.
pay.
It's not YouTube. I just been fortunate enough where I've been having time during the lunch hour to do something, but this week I have not. So
All right, Coach. You want me to read this? You want me to read the second one? Want to go down?
Yeah, brother.
So,
Go for it.
Here we go. What if Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans had stayed all 4 years?
They would probably be the most prolific quarterback receiver tandem in college football history. I think, or at least have the numbers to back it up.
I gotta get a beer. So I want to think about that one.
Yeah, you know, I mean, because you look at what Manziel did and what Evans did in 2 years at A&M. You know, in that Kevin Sumlin offense, I mean,
Oh, dude, they were stupid good.
yes, and again, Mike Evans made Johnny Manziel look like a capable quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just
Yeah.
that schoolyard, throw it up.
Evans was that good.
Oh, Evans was a man amongst boys. I mean, you watched the 2011 or 2013 Bama. If you watch the 2013 Bama A&M game, Mike Evans single-handedly kept A&M in that game.
Yeah, so I guess you're talking about I guess you're referring to the 2014 season.
Yeah,
Because,
with
he
with Evans and Manziel together.
Or,
Yeah.
What if they had stayed all
yeah.
4 years, Goose?
So
Well-
the 2012, 13, 14, and 15 would be being the senior year, I think.
So Manziel left after his sophomore season, redshirt sophomore.
His red shirt, and so did Mike, and so did Evans.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 2014 and 2015.
Yeah.
Well, 2014, that's when I think that's when Dak Prescott came out.
Yes.
I think that's the year that Dak Prescott came out and just was awesome, Mississippi State.
And that was
yeah.
That was the Kenny Trill beating South Carolina up by about 20 at South Carolina that game, and they thought that was the next great quarterback in A&M. Then he
Because-
hit reality.
Yeah.
Because LSU was off that year. That was the year after Mettenberger and Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry and Jeremy Hill. So LSU was down that year. So A&M probably would have beat LSU in 2014 with Manziel and Mike Evans. Yeah, what y'all finish that year? Y'all. I don't think y'all were very good that year, were y'all?
No,
Let's see.
You guys, they went 500, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Y'all were 3-5 in conference.
yeah,
They
because
went.
we
You
couldn't.
finished 500, right?
8-5.
8-5.
Eight-five.
Because we couldn't beat Bama, the Mississippi's, or LSU that year.
They
Oh, that's
probably- they
wait.
probably
Is
would've-
that the year Mississippi beat the brakes off you guys, or
That's the year both Mississippi schools beat the brakes off us.
I remember
the-
one of them
Oh,
beating the
Mississippi-
brakes off of you guys.
Mississippi State beat us like a freaking drum,
Yeah, they
and
beat us bad. They beat us bad too.
Ole Miss beat us pretty handily. That was the Hugh Freeze, kind of him really getting Ole Miss going. Especially, I think that was the same year they beat Bama, if I'm not mistaken, like
Yeah,
2013,
Yeah, right. Yeah, they beat them bad. They beat Alabama 2 years in a row.
13, 14.
I think it was 14 and 15 they beat.
That's
them.
right. Yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah, 14, 15. Because I think it was 2016. That's when all the wheels fell off them. when the sanctions came to him.
Yep.
But yeah, because they probably would have gone A&M 6-2 in conference probably.
Yeah.
Worst.
Because I mean,
they would beat LSU for sure.
Mississippi State's defense that year was freaking stout.
They did.
Their D-
that was the year that they had that what was that front four that was like stupid
Really good,
right?
yes.
And that middle linebacker they got drafted like in the first or second round.
I just remember that's the year that front four was like stupid good.
Yeah, we couldn't block them. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, they came to Baton Rouge and they kicked LSU's butt that year. The score
Well, it
was
says
close
Mississippi
at the
and
end,
Ole Miss
but
are
it
the.
wasn't close at all.
He says Mississippi State and Ole Miss are the only teams that are good in Mississippi.
Vegas, I agree. As an NFL quarterback, yeah, Johnny Manziel's a bust. But as a college player, dude, he's one of the in 2 years.
He's a college player.
In 2 years, he was probably one of the best college players in the NCAA.
Yeah, he just when he got to the NFL and actually had to work, and watch film and study. It hurt him. It's just like Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell was an outstanding talent here at LSU, but he didn't study film when he was here. He out-talented everybody because he was better than everybody else. So when he went to the NFL and you don't look at film, you're not gonna last very long, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's.
It's funny you say that though, because it's like that's like the perfect example. If people have always said that raw talent in college can only take you so far in the pros,
Right?
and his raw talent got him drafted.
Yeah.
But that's
Manziel and
as far
Russell,
as it went. That's as far as it went.
You know, Cliff Kingsbury a couple of years ago did an interview on Pardon My Take, and he there's a few games he said like they're going through walkthroughs and Johnny's not there. You know, and someone's talking to Kingsbury and say, "Hey, where's Manziel?" And freaking Kingsbury had a cover for his ass, so he wouldn't get suspended. I mean, like
all the time.
They freaking. But they freaking covered up for him so many times. But hell,
Russell wasn't a very good practice player at LSU either. So, and it showed when he went to the Raiders. So,
Yeah.
so
All right, Coach. You want to go down? Let's move on to the next one.
I'm sorry, eat an apple. All right.
Apple's better than potato chips. So
No doubt, man. I tried to. What if Jimmy Johnson never left Miami?
the Hurricanes. Good question.
He never went to the Cowboys, and he
I
stayed
had that
at
one
the
too.
University of Miami.
Well, Herschel Walker probably never gets traded, so that's for one. So that changes the Cowboys' fortunes because
Forever.
because when he went to Dallas, he traded Herschel Walker, got all those picks, and got Russell Maryland, Troy Aikman. Just look down the list that they got in that Herschel Walker trade. Because the Vikings thought that they were going to be that was their missing piece. Let's just trade the whole draft like the Saints did with Ricky Williams. Let's give the whole draft, and for one player, which never works out anyway. So
Yeah.
the Dallas fortunes probably they will change. They probably in the mid
They don't win 5.
the mid '90s never happened.
Nope.
Don't happen. Now what happens to the Hurricanes? Now the Hurricanes, let's see. After Jimmy Johnson was, I think it was Erickson. I think.
Yes, because he tried to clean it up, right? He tried to clean up Miami.
Because
Was it
he did win the title with Miami.
Was
there.
it the second to last year or the last year that Johnson left there? That was just an absolute shitstorm.
Well, he left he left after what 88.
It was after the '88 title, right?
I think so.
No. Notre Dame won. Notre Dame.
Oh,
won
that's
88.
right. That's right. That was the
Catholics versus
the Catholics and convicts. That's a good 30 for 30. By the way, if you haven't watched that.
But
So But what was it was one of those years, right, where he left it like just a mess, right?
I'm sure they were a mess because of, because there were all the recruiting.
All the recruiting scandals and all that stuff.
That happens. That happens every big school. So let's just be real about that. But Dennis Erickson went there. I think 80. They won. They won. I think was it 89 or 90? They won.
It might have. Oh,
it might have been 89.
Here, I'm gonna look it up because I'm kind of curious now.
Wait, 89 or was it the 90 season they won?
It was either one of those. It was either 89, 90, or 91 that they had they won the title. Might have 91.
89 and 91.
89 and 91.
So they won 83, 87, 89, 91, and 01.
All right.
Yeah.
That 01 team was where all the
Yes, Warren Sapp.
Yes, that
Ed
was that
Reed.
stacked,
Yes,
that was that stacked.
The quarterback.
Team, right?
The quarterback.
01 was that stacked
Ken
Miami
Dorsey.
team, right?
Yeah. Was
They had,
Testaverde the quarterback in like the late 80s?
Yeah, Testaverde was in the mid late 80s. Yeah. And they had Willis McGahee, Frank Gore. That Miami team were loaded.
That's the team they always say the
What's the guy that? I'm sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
The one that passed away that played for the Redskins.
Zach Taylor. No, not Zach Taylor. Come on, chat. I know y'all.
Somebody will. Yes.
Yeah.
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor. That's
Sean
right.
Taylor.
The safety, right?
Yeah. Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
He was the other safety across from Reed.
Yeah. They were loaded.
Oh yeah.
That was I remember because they've done a couple of documentaries on that stacked Miami team and how like they were just mowing through people that whole season.
Yeah, they should always be stacked with the talent they have down there in South Florida. The high school talent. There's no reason why the Hurricanes should suck.
And that's what
they have solid talent down there.
My gosh.
They can put a team together if they just recruited the Miami-Dade area. They can put a team together.
Really?
And that's what Jimmy Johnson did. He basically built a wall around the city of Miami, South Florida.
Area.
Yeah, and he got he went into Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and some of the other ones. He built Miami in South Florida.
Yeah.
That's where he got 90% of it. 90% of his talent.
There's so much talent down there.
The football down there is ridiculous.
It's unreal.
Just the athletes.
Well, that would explain why that would explain why there's a lot of the Gators and FSU.
Yeah, they got they got the Gators, they got Florida State, they got Miami, they got Central Florida.
Yeah,
I mean they have a bunch.
And even like Central Florida and like what's that? There's
FAU, Florida Atlantic, and Florida International.
Dude, even those colleges, there's still like pro level talent on those squads.
Yeah, they're right. Yeah, they're able to in their conference, their division they're in, they can hold their own. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what Jimmy Johnson did probably the best is just he owned South Florida. If they were in the city of Miami, they were going to come to Miami if they could play.
Yep.
Yeah. So Miami, because Miami was good until like '91, but then sanctions hit them, I think, and then
it was
they kind of went off a little bit because but the Cowboys' fortunes definitely would have been altered because those three titles in the '90s never would have happened.
Yeah. No, if Johnson wasn't there, I don't think they would have been as successful.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
100%.
Dude, he was a huge part of keeping all those. Think of all those egos on that one team, like during that run that they had.
Yeah, Cocaine Mike.
Well, you know what I mean, like all those egos and all those issues that dude, Johnson held that team together.
Plus there was no Twitter back then, so it was much easier to police all those activities because there was no social media, and nobody really knew what happened behind the scenes. So
Yeah, and they could hide it. They could hide it
How much easier.
much easier.
much easier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt about that, dude. It's.
I mean, look at LT's situation. You know what I mean? Like they hid the Giants franchise
Lawrence Taylor.
hid that. You know what I mean?
Well, and you think about it, like back in the '80s, you know, if anything like like shocking happened, like the fatigue game with Miami when they showed up in the fatigues
Oh yeah.
in the bowl at the bowl game,
Penn State,
you know,
Penn
Yep.
State.
I mean that was the like most controversial. I mean, they were so dang controversial, but they could play, but they could
lost,
play.
But they lost that game, though.
That's right.
They lost that game. That was a funny thing. They lost that game because they probably were so big-headed,
Mm-hmm.
and it bit them in the ass that game.
But yeah, like the U and the U Part 2 are probably one of
like
in my top 5 of the like 30 for 30s. I love watching those.
Yeah, I tried finding those on YouTube, and they got them blacklisted on YouTube.
Yeah,
You can't find 'em.
ESPN Plus is about the only way you can
Yeah.
find them now.
Sometimes
ESPN
every
Plus.
once in a while you can get lucky and find one that hasn't gotten taken down yet. But,
Right?
So
Oh, no doubt, man. No freaking doubt. Well, we talked about this next one a little bit.
We did.
You know, we hit on it. What if LSU never fired Les Miles?
Ghost, I'll take this one away. 'Cause what if Les Miles never leaves the Tigers?
So yeah, I thought about it like if let's just say they wait till after the whole 2016 season to fire him. Okay,
Mhm.
so because there wasn't talk after they lost at Auburn, they were 2-2. Because if you look at the schedule, they
Yeah.
probably were, if he would have stayed the coach, it probably would have had about the same record they had with Ogeron because they would have beaten those teams. They would have beaten Missouri. They would have beaten Ole Miss. You know, they lost Alabama. They'd have beat Arkansas. Blah blah blah. But they probably would have fired him at the end of the season. Ogeron probably would have not been there. I don't think that'd have been because he was the coach because he was an interim coach. So they would have hired somebody else at the end of the year because they would have done a better search. I wouldn't say better search, but they wouldn't have promoted within at the end of the year.
Jimbo?
They definitely would have found Jimbo.
Good Jimbo?
No, they said Jimbo was coming in 2015.
Oh, okay.
You know when at the 2015 season when they decided to keep Les Miles, if you the who's who crap, they say Jimbo was coming, but it 11th hour got nixed for whatever reason. They kept Les Miles. He lost to Wisconsin. In that first game of the year.
Weren't they
in AT&T.
Weren't they pissed when he lost to Wisconsin too? Like,
yeah, LSU was supposed to have the team to beat in 2016. They had Leonard Fournette. They had a whole bunch of players in that football team. They were supposed to contend for the SEC that season, and they come out and they go 2-2, and after that it was over with Les Miles. He had no chance of surviving that. With those expectations coming to that season, they
kept him up until the end of the 16 year, right? Or they fired him halfway?
They fired him four games in.
Okay, so because I remember as an A&M fan watching the 15 game, and those players were playing for less. I mean, they were basically playing to keep less. Yeah. He carried them off on Tiger Stadium. They carried his ass off.
Because they thought that was it.
This is his last game.
And something happened in that during that last week. Something happened with Jimbo because it either got nixed or Jimbo didn't want to come. LSU didn't want to fire Les Miles. Something happened, which we'll never find out because nobody's gonna talk about that. I mean, so but But Ogeron,
I thought from the start of that 16 season, Les was on a short leash.
he was on a very short leash.
Yeah, I could tell, like, you just from how, like, after, like, that second game, you could tell that he was on a pretty short, like, the like, just the way he was talking to the media, the way, like, you could just tell that he was on
I
a
know because
a pretty short leash.
Coach K probably knows who Tim Brando is.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tim Brando, but like I was after the Wisconsin loss. Tim Brando tweeted out something about the fact that if Les Miles loses to Auburn, he's going to get fired. And everybody blew it off, said he didn't know what he was talking about. Lo and behold, they go to Auburn, they lose, and he gets fired that Monday. And it's like, man, looks like Tim Brando's sources were correct on that. But
And they promoted Ogeron that next day, right? Or that day, right?
Yeah, they promoted Ogeron because I mean, if at the end of the year you're not going to promote an assistant because there's no reason to.
Yeah.
So you're gonna really try to find a coach to another head coach, maybe in the is a head coach anyway. So so Ogeron would not have been the coach if Les Miles would have finished the 2016 season.
Which was what to me was funny because it was 2 years in a row where A&M played LSU. They played inspired to keep less than 15, and they played inspired to keep Ed O.
Yeah.
In 16. That was 2
16,
years.
yeah.
That was 2 years in a row. We played a very inspired LSU team at the end of the year, and they beat the brakes off us.
You guys said it like you guys were talking. Didn't they carry Miles like off the
2015?
15.
Carry him off the field because they thought he was gone.
Tiger Stadium. Everyone stood up and
Yeah.
clapped for Les. Yeah,
It was over with.
they clapped for him because I mean they thought like you said it was over.
With. It was done. Something happened during the game, halftime. Something happened because he was gone. I mean, he was gone. Les knew it. Something happened. Either Jimbo said, "You know what? I don't want to come," or LSU told Jimbo, or I don't know. Something happened. But you'll never know because nobody's going to talk unless you get him drunk. Unless you get him drunk, maybe they'll talk. But.
Oh yeah, you'd have to get that. You'd have to get the truth serum flowing to actually find out what really happened. So I want to jump down a few spots,
So what's that mean for
Coach?
LSU? So I guess it depends upon who they hire. Do they win in 2019?
Yeah,
Joe Burrow might not come here.
Do they go after? Does LSU go after Ogeron as hard as they did?
They probably don't.
They probably. I would think no, right?
They probably know.
Yeah. Because I know they went after him pretty adamantly. They wanted Ogeron there.
Yeah. After the season played out the way it played out, yeah. Because they either wanted Tom Herman, or Jimbo Fisher was the guys they wanted at that time when Les got fired.
Yeah. Because LSU is one of those teams you either have to fit culturally, or you have to be a big name with some trophies in your suitcase.
Yeah.
It has to be one of those two.
The pedigree. The pedigree's got to be there.
Yes.
The pedigree's got to be there.
Ed O, and I love Ed O. Coach O.
He's Louisiana.
He fits LSU to a freaking T. Like you could tell he loves coaching LSU. He loves the Tigers.
Yeah, he needs to be a cartoon character. I freaking love Coach O. The dude needs like an action figure or he needs like his own cartoon character or an action figure. The dude is awesome.
I mean, he talks like he smokes like 50 packs of cigarettes a day, but he doesn't smoke. He doesn't smoke.
It's just that South Louisiana, right?
Yeah. I mean, you would think he smokes like 50 packs of cigarettes a day for the past like 20 years.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
That's about all you can understand when he says, "Go Tigers."
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
So,
yeah.
But no, like he had that squad running last year.
Yeah.
Like,
no shit.
Like he had that squad running.
Yeah, and I talked to Bobby about this too, Goose. It was funny. You know, I always watch the the next week's opponent, just the press
Yeah.
conference. And when Coach O told the reporter they mentioned A&M, he said, "We'll be ready." I'm thinking, "Oh shit, he's going to have these guys
Yeah,
freaking
that was
motivated
That
and
20,
ready."
that 20 overtime game, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be ready. I'm thinking, "Oh
Man,
shit."
I was like, will this game just fucking end, man?
Oh my gosh. And I rewatched that game, just the overtime. Holy
The
crap.
overtime was probably 3 hours long.
Holy crap.
That was a game and a half.
That was. It was one of the best games I've ever watched in my life.
Not me, but it was and it wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
It really was. It really was one of the best games you probably can watch. It really was.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
It might not have turned out the way I wanted it, but it really was a great game.
to me that's Joe Burrow's coming out party right there. That was because I mean, hell, he kept LSU in the game
Yeah.
over and over again.
Burrow had some good games in that 2018 season. He had a Miami, Georgia, Auburn. He had some good games that year.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like last year, but their offense was different. The offense was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, what if they would have instituted that offense in 2018? Because looks like that offense suited him to a T. He knew what to do with that offense. He knew how to get the ball out to receivers.
Well,
So-
they've always had cats on the outside, but they've never utilized them very effectively.
Because in 2018 they still had Jamar Chase, still had Justin Jefferson. So those two guys were there in 2018. They just right. We didn't run the kind of offense that we needed to run that year.
Right. All right, Bobby. What's up?
We got, man. What other question we got here? I'm trying
hold
to think of one. So trying to think of a what if, but I'm ready for the next one.
So let's jump. What's up? Still, by the way, how you doing, brother?
Oh, excuse me.
So let's jump down a few there, Coach. We'll backtrack, but I want to talk
Sounds good.
about this. What if the Bush push never happened? What if that never happened? What if they don't score that touchdown? What if the Bush push never happened?
I don't think we don't get the 05 national championship game.
No, you're right. You don't get that.
You don't get the Vince Young coming back from behind to will Texas to win.
He don't beat USC.
Mm-hmm.
So Texas still might have won the title, but they don't beat USC.
Right.
That might have put Notre Dame in the title game. That might have propelled them.
Was that the Brady Quinn year?
Yeah, that was Brady.
Yeah,
that
Brady
was the
Quinn.
That was the Brady Quinn year. Yep.
Brady
Yep.
Quinn, Notre Dame. That's right.
But if the Bush push doesn't happen, yeah, I mean, there's no chance of a three-peat by USC for sure. And we get robbed out of the 2006 Rose Bowl because it never would have been that dramatic. If it was Texas, if it was Texas and Notre Dame, I mean, it wouldn't have been that dramatic.
Oh no.
So, because USC had a big fourth down before that Bush push that they converted.
Yeah.
I thought the game was over with because I was like, man, because I was sitting.
I remember that whole drive. I
was
remember
sitting
that whole final drive. It was
because
insane.
I was sitting in the Notre Dame end zone and I was like, man, so it was like fourth and like 15. It's like, man, I said they're not going to get this. And I saw there was single coverage on that receiver and there was no safety help. I said, what kind of freaking defense are they in? And then I saw Matt Leinart throw that over the top. I said, man, I think it was Mike Williams was the receiver, and then USC drove down, had the Bush push, and man.
Does Bush win the Heisman without winning that game?
Ooh, that's it. Because who came in second behind him?
Vince Young.
Vince Young.
Then
That
Vince-
was
that
was the whole story.
Vince Young wins the Heisman.
that was the whole story leading up to the Rose Bowl. Is you have the Heisman Trophy winner and the runner-up.
playing against yeah.
Man, as a Saints fan, I can tell you when I knew we were going to get Reggie Bush, because the Texans were going to pick Mario Williams, I was ecstatic, man. It's like, man, we're getting Reggie Bush.
And we
I was pumped.
And we fucking got Vince Young.
And I still think Reggie Bush was a great player for the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 years, he was dynamic.
I don't think the Saints had the season they had in 09 without him.
Really? Hey, how about do you think they win the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean the game itself, or the season.
Do you think they get to the Super Bowl without
No.
Reggie in the backfield?
No.
Because he had what 2 punt returns
Yeah.
in the
That
in the
year, I think
playoffs.
that year, he had a great game against the Cardinals. Where he ran like over 100 yards, and I think I just because in 06 they went to the NFC title game the first year, and they definitely wouldn't have had the season without him that season. Because Drew Brees really wasn't the quarterback that he was in 06 that he was in 09 at that point in his career.
Right.
But I was ecstatic when we got Reggie Bush, man. Because I know some Saints fans say, Reggie Bush sucked when he was here. No, actually he didn't suck here. Now, was he like when because he never was going to be that dynamic in college as he was in the pros. I mean, you couldn't expect that. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
he was a man playing amongst boys a lot of times,
in college, yeah.
especially in the Pac-12 during that time.
Yeah.
Because the Pac-12 was not very good. I think in the mid 2000s, the Pac-12 wasn't that good.
yeah, outside of USC. I mean, because Chip Kelly came in late 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
In Oregon.
Like 08, 09, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we've said this on this channel a bunch. The jump from college to the pros is
It's night and day, man.
yeah, you're going from like these running backs get into the they get into the pros, they get drafted, and when you got a 310-pound guy,
A linebacker that could run
who can
speed.
chase you. They might not be able to chase you vertically, right, up and down the field, but when it comes to running horizontal on a football field, they're just as fast as you. So if you can't get to the outside and use the speed that you have,
Right.
you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. Yeah, but Reggie, if the Bush push doesn't happen, Reggie Bush probably will not win the Heisman. It'll probably be Vince Young, because they'd have been the number one team. So good. But
Coach, you freezing up there, buddy.
Yeah, I've no. I'm gonna.
I see.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna reload this thing real quick. I'll be
All
right back.
Go for it. So, Goose, we'll move on. We will roll down to the next one.
yeah, I'm trying to think of a very, very good one, like a what if in college football, like.
So here's the next one on the list. Here's one, right? What if Urban Meyer never left Florida?
Well, they were on a downward spiral in 2010. They really were. He kind of flaked out.
I think I see. I don't know if he I don't want to say he wore his welcome out down there, but I think he had done everything that he could down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he had done everything he could down there.
Tebow was gone after the 2010 season. Tebow was gone.
Yeah.
They had a bad season for Florida. No, for Florida's expectations in 2010.
Yeah.
He started flaking out. Wasn't recruiting at a high level. It showed because they weren't very good in 2011, 2013. It wasn't until the
Which of those seasons were they one of them they finished way under 500, didn't they?
I think it was 2011.
Was it 11 or 13
I
that
think
they
it
went
was-
that they went under 500?
I think it was 2011. They had a very, very bad season. But yeah, he because they just once Tebow left, they didn't really have the players anymore to compete in the SEC, and that's when he quit. When he said he had headaches, whatever his excuse was, and
Headaches, right?
it's the same thing he said when he left Ohio State. He had a cyst on his. He might have one. I'm not
Medical reasons, right?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to call him a liar, but the last two jobs that he's had, he's said that it's been medical issues why he left, and
yeah.
so.
All right, let's see. We got the coach back.
With Ohio State, I mean,
There you go.
I'm trying to think what happened at the end, and because it was one of the coaches beat his wife, whatever, and they covered it up.
That's with Urban Meyer at Ohio State. Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was the domestic violence thing that he covered up. That they covered up.
Domestic violence. Yeah, that's what it was. I was trying to think why did he lead that.
I think he was just tired of the he didn't want to deal with the backlash, the PR backlash that was coming from that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he came back coaching. Actually, honestly speaking, he's young. He's a young guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even 60 yet. I can't remember. I have to look it up.
I think he's in his probably early to mid 50s.
He might be 59. I don't think he's very young. I mean, very very old. Not like Saban's 69. Saban's probably.
See, I didn't realize Saban was that old.
Well, I mean, it's been 20 years since it's been 20 years since he started here in 2000.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
He's been coaching for a very very long time. So, but Florida. I mean, like I said, Bobby, they were going on a downward spiral after that 1 year after Tebow left.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Urban Meyer had the they might have been worse than what they were.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think he really had the.
Do you think they stopped backing him after Tebow left? You think they stopped giving him like the recruiting money, and do you think I think he might have got lazy. Do you think it came from up top, or do you think it was him?
I think it was him. I think he got lazy recruiting. That's why Saban. I mean, Saban's probably recruiting. So Saban's probably on the phone right now to somebody.
Trying to get kids.
Might be a dead period. I don't know, but Saban's probably right now somewhere. Okay, well, I got to get this linebacker, man. Actually, Saban's just a perfectionist, man, and you have to be that way if you want to succeed in college.
That's the beauty of what that's the driving force behind these colleges, the top 5 or top 8 schools wanting to stay there, because you're going to get all the support you need. You're going to get all the money you need. You're going to get all the support. You're going to get all the back. You're going to get all the everything you need to stay there. Once you get there, and and you can convince some people that with the right support we could stay here. Especially in the college game, that's huge.
Well, the biggest thing I think Saban does and Alabama does well is they stay out of his way.
Yeah.
It's to a point, right? They stay right. They stay out of his way.
When post Gene Stallings, Alabama, I think you had so many cooks. You had so many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, they did. Right, they did.
I mean, Alabama couldn't get right. Like from the early 90s to the mid 2000s, Alabama football was not very good.
They were not very good at all.
They were horrible.
They had a stretch where they were just not good, and then they wouldn't go after the best coach.
Yeah.
And then finally they put up the money, and they went out and got Saban when he was at the Dolphins, and they made him say. I mean, Saban said no at first, so they just kept on. They just kept on and pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, and so he finally he gave in. So, because he said no at first, but then yeah.
You know how well,
it don't Bobby, don't work that way with my wife. I can't keep pushing her and just say yes.
Oh, believe me, I know.
the no will get louder. You know.
See, it gets louder, and then if you keep going, like objects start getting thrown in your direction,
and stuff gets
with
cut
the
off.
response.
And stuff gets cut off.
Yeah. So yep.
All right, dude. Oh man.
All right, Coach, what do we got? What's next?
2010. What if Colt McCoy does not get hurt versus Bama? Does Texas win the national championship in 10 if McCoy is healthy? That's the biggest what if.
I'm going to say yes. I think Texas could pull that off. I think they could beat them.
Look, that's a question that I can go back and forth on. I'm gonna still say no.
You're still gonna say no, even if they.
I still think Alabama would have pulled it out at the end because of their running game. They had Mark Ingram. And,
Ingram. That's
Yep.
right. That's the year that they
Ingram, and I think was Derrick Henry like his freshman year. Was that year?
I don't know, but I know, but Ingram was the
lead back.
He was the bell cow.
I think that was Henry's freshman year. I think.
10. I think Henry got drafted like 16. So no. He'd been a senior in high school.
No, so that was the year before Henry got. That was the year before Henry.
Because Henry won the Heisman in 2015. That's the year that everybody thought Leonard Fournette.
So that was before. That was the year before Henry got.
Everybody thought Leonard Fournette was going to win it that year until Alabama shut Fournette down. LSU lost the game. Henry had a big game that was. But see.
And think about this. That was the downward spiral of Mac Brown.
Was.
Yeah.
Just like Les Miles.
Yeah.
That led to Mac Brown getting fired, a year later?
Yeah, it wasn't very
2
long.
years, 2 years later?
I think it was one season. I think it was one season later.
Because see, he tried to change his offense to a ground and pound offense after that. After seeing Alabama ran all over him, and after they were recruiting players to run a spread offense in the Big 12, and then you can't just do that.
Change your game, yeah.
You can't just go, okay, next year we're gonna go I formation when you have players that run a spread offense. But it really did like Les Miles. It put Mac Brown into a downward spiral, which led him to getting fired.
I got one for you guys. What if in 2010? What if Cam Newton was ruled ineligible?
For the college football season? Auburn definitely doesn't go undefeated. That's one reason.
That's the year that he was in the eligibility fight.
Oh, that's right.
What if in 2010 he was ruled ineligible?
Well, Auburn definitely doesn't go undefeated and win the title. So,
and I think they fired Gene Chizik a little sooner than what they did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because winning that title gave him a few years because you win a title, a coach is going to get some kind of leeway for 2 years. So,
right.
But they definitely Oregon probably wins. Oregon probably had the next best team that season.
And even with Cam, that game was so dang close.
It was close. That game was close.
I remember that.
But Auburn definitely doesn't win the SEC. They don't win the national title. Gene Chizik probably gets fired in 2011 because they probably would have won 8-5 that season, depending on who their quarterback was. But
and you want to stick with the Auburn theme? What if the kick six doesn't happen?
Ooh.
In 2013.
That was so much fun.
I think Alabama wins that game.
Me too.
Overtime.
Me too. I think so too. If that, do you think? What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I
think
think
they win? You think
Bama.
Bama-
I
you
think
think Bama
Bama
wins that
wins.
game?
Bama
I think
wins,
Bama wins.
Bama wins, and Bama would have beaten Florida State.
Oh yeah, you know the fan cams that we show like after a big loss, the fans' reactions.
Yeah.
The Alabama fans' reactions after that game was priceless. They
were in shock.
Oh
They
yeah,
were in shock.
you should have
Like
saw
just-
you should have saw my face after the Minneapolis Miracle in 2017 when I stared at the TV for 20 minutes.
I couldn't just to get dude. I couldn't believe that
The kick six, yeah.
I couldn't believe the kick six had I couldn't believe it had I had to watch it like 4 times because I was like,
Yeah, okay, because you weren't expecting it.
no.
Okay, you saw the guy go to the outside. Okay, he's gonna get tackled. We're gonna go to overtime. All of a sudden, he busts through the hole. You're like, holy shit! Auburn's gonna win the game. It's like, but did he step out of bounds? And they go to the replay. They can clearly see he did not step out of bounds. Like, wow, Auburn won the football game.
When he made that cut, that's when they thought
Yeah.
when he made the cut, that's when they thought he stepped out, right?
I thought he was gonna get tackled on the sidelines, and we're gonna go overtime. So I was like, holy shit, they won a game.
I remember watching that and seeing him cut it back inside, and I was like, holy shit, I think he's gonna score.
He's gonna score, yeah. Because Auburn had 2. They had against Georgia. They had the same. That was the same year. They had a Hail Mary pass that got caught. They got tipped up.
When they talk about you have to be a little lucky to win a championship.
Oh, you gotta be lucky, man.
Auburn was the perfect example that year of the ball bouncing.
You cannot beat luck.
The ball bouncing their way a lot that year.
You can't beat luck, man.
But and they do. How many times have people said like, you do to go like on a Super Bowl or a national championship, you need a little bit of luck to go your way. You're gonna need.
LSU.
You're gonna need
LSU
it.
had some luck against Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson dropped the interception, and they also had the pass interference call when they scored a touchdown. It was offensive pass interference. It took 7 points off the board.
The interception that you're talking about, that's the one that Burrow threw over the
over the middle. The guy dropped it.
Yeah, he threw it right to him and it went right through his hands, right? That's the one he threw over the middle. Yeah, I remember that.
So I mean, just you gotta have luck go your way, man. You gotta have luck go your way.
100%.
I mean, because you can't beat luck, man.
Dude, just to put it into perspective, right? 3 of the Patriots' 6 Super Bowls were won by the field goals.
Yeah.
By 3 points at the end of a game.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody runs the football, in two of those games, you lose 2 games.
Yeah.
You lose the Seattle game, you lose the Falcons game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If the Falcons had if I was the coach of Atlanta, I would have just walked up to Devontae Freeman and Coleman and said, "Guys, I'm sorry, but guess what? Y'all better get ready for an entire half of getting the ball. You're going to get the ball 18 times a piece in this half. Every single play. Like, Atlanta was running all over the Patriots in that game. The side, dude, you should have heard them mic'd up they had no answer for Freeman in the first half. They had no answer for Freeman.
I don't remember the individual. See, you know the plays because you're a fan. I remember them just blowing the damn lead. Like, geez, but I don't remember those individual plays that if you're a fan of the Patriots, you know those plays, that happen because you're actually watching the game. So, but yeah, I mean, when Julio Jones made that catch on the sideline,
yep,
I said game's over with because I thought the Falcons were going to run the ball, go up by 10, and it would have been over with.
Yeah,
and, they passed, and I remember they passed, they get sacked. Twice or so.
So that miracle ball to Julio down the sidelines, and then they committed the penalty, and then they committed the 2 penalties or the penalty that pushed him back, right? And then so that they threw that ball to Julio, and then they committed the penalty, and that backed them up 10 yards.
Then they throw the ball again,
and then they
get sacked,
and then they sacked, and then they sacked him, and then.
Well, didn't he also get sacked? This was early in the game. He got sacked. He fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that and then they went to go throw it again, and they got sacked. It was like a 15-yard loss on the sack.
And it took him out of field goal range.
Yeah, and he got sacked. He got put down at like the like 42 or
45,
something.
48.
Yeah. And it was like a 58-yard field goal, and they punted it back, and that was the start of the comeback.
Yep.
But it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I got a what if for you, Bobby.
Go for it.
So how is Tom Brady remembered if they lose that game against Atlanta and Seattle? Because now he doesn't have all those rings like Montana had.
He's got 4, right? He's got 4.
Montana's 4-0, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brady would have been 2 or 3 wins. If you take those 2 out, how many would he have? How many would he have? 3. If you take those, he'd have 3, right?
He would have 3. If you took those,
those 2 out,
no, 4. He would have 4.
he'd have 4. Okay.
4.
That's right, 4. Because we're 6. Because y'all won 6.
Yeah, he would have 4.
So he'd been 4-3 or 4-4.
I believe he would be 500 in Super Bowl.
4-4.
4-4. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Would he be the
He'd
GOAT still?
He'd probably people would look at him a little differently, probably.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I mean, because it really wasn't. I mean, he had nothing to do with. He really had. Well, he did have something to do with the last win because. But I mean, the Seattle win. I mean, that was just stupidity. Wow, Seattle lost that game. I mean,
Coach, I got one for you guys.
Good.
In 2015, what if Jalen Smith doesn't get hurt in the Fiesta Bowl?
That's
the Notre Dame linebacker, the good Jalen Smith.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that went to Dallas, right?
Yep.
Cowboys.
Yep. So what if in 2015 in the Fiesta Bowl Smith doesn't get hurt? Does Notre Dame win that? Does Notre Dame win that game?
Who did they play? Let's see. 2015. Trying to think.
Yep.
If I can look up the game because I watch all these bowl games.
That was the Manti Te'o fake girlfriend year.
Yes, that was
His fake dead girlfriend.
That when he lost to Ohio State.
Yes, I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, Fiesta Bowl. They lost to the Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes. Yep.
The Buckeyes are favored by. Oh yeah, there he is.
Sorry, I was prepping for one of the ones.
But because he got hurt, and it hurt his draft stock, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Big
it
time.
did. It dropped him a lot. That injury crushed his draft stock.
Because Notre Dame, they just been.
They can't catch a break.
No,
They
really can't.
they've been, everybody talks about Notre Dame, and the Four Horsemen, but they have really been a bad football team, bad football program. Outside of that one year they won in '88, they've won one national title in the past 50 years.
Yeah,
I love it too.
They've struggled to remain relevant. They've struggled to remain relevant.
LSU's better program. Clemson, Alabama's better than them right now.
One of my favorite bowl games was watching LSU just dismantle Brady Quinn and Notre Dame.
That's what got Jamarcus Russell.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got Jamarcus Russell drafted.
Yeah, was that game right?
And then he left, and that's when Matt Flynn was the quarterback the next year. LSU won the title. But that game right there when Russell threw for 350 yards, some crap like that, and outdueled Brady Quinn, and it got him drafted number 1 overall. But he just like we discussed earlier, his work ethic was horrible.
Yeah,
in college, and he just never learned. Because I don't know if you heard of this story that the Raiders gave him some blank tapes to go watch. Well,
I have.
Russell didn't know they were blank. They told him it was actually video film, but it was blank tapes. Oh, I watched them, yeah. And of course, if he'd have watched them, he'd have known they were blank. So he lied about that. So, yeah.
All right, Coach.
I got another beer. 1 second.
All right, man.
What's up, Brayton? What's up, Elias? What's up, Vegas? Y'all still in the house hanging out with us? Appreciate y'all. The Brayton bot has entered the chat.
Oh, Brayton bot. Yeah. The
Brayton
background.
bot on the lookout for them trolls.
I was prepping for this next what if, Bobby.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm I gotta turn my AC up. It's hot as hell out here.
Welcome to my world. Yeah, after this question, I'll go back to Kyle Field. Oh, I'll text you, Bobby. I saw something today that made me kind of laugh a little bit.
We are back. All right, what's the question? What's the question here?
What if the pirate never left Lubbock?
Ooh.
Ooh, the pirate right there. That's him back there.
What if Mike Leach never got fired from Texas Tech?
Well, I guess you're saying that. I guess was it Texas Tech where you put the player in the shed, whatever it was?
It was who?
Craig James.
Craig James' son.
The SMU.
Yes, it was Craig James' son. They
he put him in a closet. Because
concussion.
He had a concussion, whatever.
Yep.
Fuck it was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were. I mean, in 2008, Texas Tech had. They beat Texas.
Yeah, but 2 weeks later they got the brake speed off them by OU.
Oklahoma.
I was gonna say like 2 or 3
2
weeks
week-
later,
Oklahoma
OU
beat
took
the
them
brakes
apart,
off
right?
And then the Big 12 had a pickle because you had 3 teams who won, lost, and everybody beat everybody.
Yeah.
So they had a pickle, and they went with the BCS standings. To
they went with what was the stat that
the BCS standings.
Yeah.
And whoever was leading the BCS standings was the one who won the Big 12. And I guess who got the nod to be in the BCS bowl game. So because they all shared the title. But yeah, I mean, because who was the quarterback? Was it Graham Harrell?
Yes, Graham Harrell. It was Graham Harrell
and Crabtree
and Michael Crabtree.
Crabtree, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the Crabtree year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Because that's the game. The Texas game is when Crabtree caught the tightrope and scored and won the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Down the yeah.
Yep, down the sideline.
That's that bomb down the sideline, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I went to an LSU game and we were driving home, and we had this was the time when we had a little wireless card on my laptop. We plugged it in, and we were watching that as we were driving. So
the good old days.
Good old days. But Texas Tech. So he was the best coach Texas Tech probably had.
Since Spike Dykes.
Yeah. They're I mean, I don't know if they would have won. They probably wouldn't have won a national title, but they probably would have been better. Especially if he could have got his players and the offense that he likes to run in the Big 12, which I mean, that's the kind of offense that can really win you games in the Big 12 is the fun and gun. So, Texas Tech probably would have had more success if he would have stayed and was able to recruit all the players that he was able to recruit, like Crabtree and Graham Harrell.
Oh, but here's the funny thing, and some people don't know this, that Leach followed Spike Dykes.
Did he really?
They hired him. Spike Dykes was there like up until like 2001, 2002. Then they hired Leach that spring.
So I got a what if. I got a what if.
I just want to do one to heal. One sec, Coach. One sec, Goose. I just want to do one to humor. I'll take a little jab at my A&M fan over there for 1 second.
Fuck you.
What if the officials ruled the Ole Miss safety in 2012?
I don't remember that. See, I thought about.
Oh, the Manziel.
Yep.
Was it the Manziel sack?
Yep, the Manziel sack in 2012. What if they ruled that? What if
Was
the
I out?
officials ruled
Was
that
I
a
out?
safety?
I think I was out of the bar when I think I got drunk for that game, so that's probably why I don't remember it.
That's the one like the nose of the football was outside the end zone.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Like
now
the
I remember
nose
that.
of the football was outside the end zone because the rule I think is the entire ball has
The
to
entire ball has to be in the end zone.
be and
Yep.
like the nose
Right.
of it. What if
Dude, and when you say nose, bro, let's be real. It was
Yeah,
like
it was like about-
it was like that much of it.
Well,
Still got it.
Ole Miss wins the West that year because it would have given them one. It would have given them one last loss because they would have won that game probably.
A&M doesn't play Oklahoma and beat them by 40 in the Cotton Bowl? I mean that's the truth. They don't go to the Cotton Bowl if they lose that game. It would probably be Ole Miss or LSU.
Ole Miss would have won the West that year because they would have had one because they were going to go. They were going to go, but then lost to Arkansas. But yeah.
All right, go ahead, Goose. I just wanted to give a little
Okay.
throw a little shade in
I mean, I guess it's really in a what if because
the
everybody-
Texas direction there.
Everybody knows what
all
would
good.
happen, but I mean, the Ohio State Hurricanes Fiesta Bowl when did the pass interference call. They gave Ohio State the first down.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's ruled correctly, which I think it was, I don't think it was pass interference, but
No, it was
mean-
no, it was not.
I mean, because that would have given them back-to-back titles, the Hurricanes. What's that do for Larry Coker? I mean, he would have won two national championships. I mean, otherwise, I know that's not really his team that he recruited because he came in there, but he was a coach. He was an assistant coach there when those teams were getting built up. But
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Ohio State doesn't win, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I wonder how Larry Coker would have fared if they had won back-to-back titles in 2001, 2002.
He probably doesn't get some of the jobs he gets.
Oh,
You
that's
know?
a fact. That's a Oh God, what was that when he left, when Coker left?
We got fired, so Jesse.
No, that's what I'm saying. When he left there, like when they let him go,
He went to a small school like Texas San Antonio.
I was gonna say it.
UTSA.
Yeah, he went
They
to like
just-
he went
they
to like
just-
a D2 school, right? Didn't he?
No, it was a Division I AA or
FCS.
FCS, and he kind
Come
of got
on,
him.
It's the same. It's the same. It's like a D2.
Okay,
It's
I
like
know.
It's
It's
a glorified D2.
it's a
It's a
step
division-
above D2.
It's one AA. That's what. If you're old enough to know what one AA is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 1 AA school.
Yeah.
So he definitely took a step down.
But I mean,
Right,
'cause-
but
I
he
mean,
had to get a job. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he would have got that job.
I think he would have because they were desperate because they just started that football program and they needed a name to tie to that program and recruit kids to
Yeah.
that program.
Yeah.
So
I just wonder if Miami would they have fallen off as much as they did if they had won back-to-back titles. I guess. So
I would say yeah.
you still think they would have fallen off the way they did?
I think so. I think the cracks in that foundation, I think, were there.
We're already there.
We're already there.
And once Ken Dorsey left and Willis McGahee and Jonathan Vilma, all those players left. and you weren't replacing them with those similar type players, then
Well, that's the thing. Like they had a mass exodus of talent,
yeah.
and they never
and you weren't replacing it.
they never they never subsidize it with anything. They never put anything back in
Right.
its place. So, and that's the hard, dude. That's the hardest part. Like it's the same thing in college as it is in the pros. Like when you have a mass exodus due to the draft or graduation, you got to keep that flow of talent
Yeah.
coming coming into your school, or you're gonna drop.
Yeah, because a lot of not a lot, but there's some coaches that got lucky win national title. But how many coaches get lucky and win two? Larry Coker would have won 2 national championships, and everybody said he was a bad coach, and just the player is the reason why they won, which probably is true because if you go look at that 2002 and 1 roster, Willis McGahee, Jonathan Vilma, Sean Taylor, Ken Dorsey, Frank Gore. I mean, they just that's just all
Loaded.
those players were in the NFL. So
But
Oh, yeah.
Goose, like you're right though. That was their biggest issue is they had that mass exodus of talent and they never
didn't replace it.
It was like the talent levels here and then you got to keep it here. The problem was is they replaced it with they tried to do it slowly and it never worked.
Yeah, that's why I said we talked earlier. I don't know why Miami. I don't know why they suck right now because they shouldn't suck. If you know, I mean
That area.
that area in South Florida, and the high school talent that they have down there, there's no reason why they should lose to Louisiana Tech in a bowl game and get blown out, 14-0.
Oh, no.
It should not happen.
No.
At Miami. I mean, they didn't score a point in that walk on. I think it was a walk on the Independence Bowl, whatever the hell it was, last year against Louisiana Tech, and they lost 14-0. That should not happen at Miami at all.
Oh no.
Not with the talent that they have in Florida, man. The high school talent in Florida is
It's
like it is
unreal.
in Texas and California. It's just, I mean,
It's different.
It's
different.
They have a lot of talent in Florida, high school football talent, a lot. So, I guess he's getting ready for the next question.
Sorry, I was playing with it.
All right, coach.
I found it.
You got all right. What do you got?
Oh, what if Boise State, the Statue of Liberty does not work? What if Oklahoma tackles them on the 1? Do we look at Boise State the same way? Do we look at Chris Peterson the same way?
Oh, if the Statue of Liberty doesn't.
Yes.
I remember that
dude,
game.
I
do
remember.
too.
Awesome
I
play.
remember watching
That
that.
was an awesome play, man.
That
was-
That was an awesome play.
It was so
And-
cool.
and it worked.
Yeah.
And-
The play's got to work.
And didn't
Obviously,
they? Did they pull like a hook and ladder like earlier in the overtime?
Earlier in
to
the game.
score.
Yeah.
No, it was the last one because they were down by 7 points and they had to score the hook and ladder to tie it up.
That's right. So they pulled off the hook and ladder. They pulled off the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Peterson pulled every play in the playbook.
Like when you say luck, you gotta be lucky, to win. I mean, yeah, because that game really, gave Boise, put them on the map.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh yeah.
God, Boise
Yeah.
State, they beat Oklahoma, they beat a blue blood. I mean, because right, if they lose that game, it's a valiant effort. They came up short, but they actually won that game. I mean, it doesn't really matter how they won it; they won it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it gave legitimacy to the non-power 5.
It did, right? Because they beat Oklahoma. They didn't beat Pitt. They didn't beat a Pittsburgh out of the ACC. They went and beat Oklahoma.
So
right,
Valhalla Sports Talk says Goose. I see Goose wearing a Vikings jersey.
yep,
Vikings colors. That's good to see.
That's right, Vikings. Hey, about the Vikings jersey. This was after Saban's first year.
Was it?
This was we went to the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
So, and this was in Atlanta, and I was I had come back home. I was wearing my purple LSU jersey. Okay, so this LSU played on either Friday or Saturday. The next day was the Saints playoff game against the Rams. That was when they won their very first playoff game in the Super Bowl.
And you weren't
Well,
purple.
they were set to play the Vikings the next week. I went out into a bar, almost got in a fight because somebody thought I was wearing a Vikings jersey. And I was wearing my LSU hat. I thought that Bo Ryan would see a LSU hat, purple jersey. Oh, man, I thought that was a Vikings jersey. It's no more. It's a fucking LSU jersey, you idiot. It happens to be purple. LSU does wear purple. Did you watch the bowl game last night? They wore purple jerseys. So, I almost got in a fight wearing an LSU jersey because I thought I was wearing a Vikings jersey.
Hey, Goose, while we're on the jerseys topic, why does LSU wear purple white at home? What's
Why
the
they wear white at home?
Yeah, what's the reasoning on that? I know, it's like one game out of the year that will wear the solid color, the purple.
It's just something that they've done. I think they started back in the 50s.
I
And
kind of
just-
like that. I kind
I
of
do
like
too.
the white.
I mean,
the white. I think the
it-
white and purple look sharp. The white.
It looks good. It's
I
sharp.
like the purple jerseys with the white helmet, white pants.
Oh yeah, that looks good. That look is good. That look
But as
looks
opposed
good.
to the yellow
that's
helmet.
the yellow. That's like the gold number jersey, right? They get the gold numbers on the.
I think I like that when they went to the Vegas Gold helmet. That one game. Was it that one?
Yeah, that was several years ago.
Yeah, it was like a special night.
Yeah.
One of those once.
It was the old gold, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought those looked pretty sharp.
But I do like the purple jersey with the white helmet and then the white pants. But I like when they wear the purple jerseys like twice a year. So that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's change it up.
Dude, there's certain college teams out there that just have sharp looking uniforms. LSU's got a good looking uniform. I personally like the Texas Tech uniforms. I like the Red Raiders uniform. I like that look.
Black and scarlet's pretty easy to pull off, though. I think that's a pretty easy color combo to pull off. I like Wisconsin's the
scarlet red and the
white.
Yeah, those
I think
are
that
sharp
looks
looking,
sharp.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What do we got next, Coach?
Going back to my neck of woods, because when I was going through these, I was thinking about them. And I'm gonna skip.
I got a question for Coach K after he does.
I got you, brother.
After he does.
What if Bear Bryant never leaves A&M?
Oh, damn it! That
was
was
that was one of my what ifs. What if the Bear never leaves
leaves
College
A&M?
Station?
yeah, right. Yeah, does he have the same kind of success as he had when he went to Tuscaloosa?
I think the supporting cast in A&M was a big I think it was both Bryant and the team itself. I think it was a combination of the two.
You got to remember the Junction Boys. That was his first year. They were injured. I mean, that camp made them tougher.
Yeah.
But they won 3 or 4 games his first year. They were not very good.
They had no players, man. Everybody was quitting.
Because of that camp. They
Yeah.
were not very good.
Yeah, that's back when you can tell them you ain't drinking no water, boy.
Right.
I mean, I don't think he would have had the success like he had at Alabama, but I think definitely A&M would have probably won a national championship, 1 or 2.
I think they would. I think they would have at least won one. At least.
I don't know if he'd have had the same kind of success that he had at Alabama, but who knows? Texas still has a lot of football talent.
My favorite line in his autobiography is he talks about telling his wife he got he's leaving Kentucky, going to College Station. He said his wife only cried twice when they moved, when they got to College Station, and when they left College Station. That's the only 2 times his wife cried when they moved. Because she didn't want to go to.
I'm going to College Station.
Yes. Then but she just fell in love with the town. She fell in love with College Station.
But yeah, I mean,
So-
I think A&M probably would have. They
I think
probably
they would have at least
won.
won one. At least.
It probably would have.
Yeah, I think
if
so.
If he could have coached, because he was a good coach, obviously. But I don't know if he would have won as much as he won in Alabama. 'Cause he won like what 5 in Alabama.
I think.
Yeah.
I think 5.
So
I got a question for you, Goose, and you may know this. Who was Bear Bryant's only Heisman Trophy winner?
It wasn't Alabama.
It wasn't
because-
Alabama.
Because,
It was a-
because Bama never had a Heisman until Ingram.
Coach K.
I read.
John David Crow.
Yeah,
Did
John
you
David,
did you read that, Coach? What,
the Louisiana
what he
boy.
said?
Yeah, wrote Rich said Lonnie cut his hair awesome.
Cause his awesome
Wow.
hair off.
I don't know, Rich. That's kind of his. That was his. I don't know. I want to say how it looks, but that's awesome. But yeah, yeah, Goose. It was John David Crow.
Yeah.
He's from.
Really?
That was Bear Bryant's only Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, because
in
Alabama
his
never
career.
had one until Ingram won in 2009,
Yep.
and all the players they had go to that school, and Bama never had a. Joe Namath didn't win it. Derek Thomas. Look. I mean, they've had.
Because
So-
John David Crow was from, like south. Is he like southeast Louisiana?
I'd have to go look it up.
I think he's from Louisiana though. He's from
see.
Louisiana.
Ooh, I want to throw one at you guys that I think is real. Coach, I think it's really good.
Rich. Oh, sorry. Hey, Rich. I'm gonna shoot you a text. I want to talk to you about some collab thing.
For the Spurs,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
He was from Marion, Louisiana, which is let's see. Yeah, that's up north. That's up north Louisiana by the
Okay.
Arkansas border.
So I knew he was a Louisiana boy.
He's that's by the Arkansas border.
I got you.
So,
It's got a population of 765 in the 2010 census. So you know what it was back when John David was.
R.I.P. John David Crow.
Actually, in 1950, their population was 685. So their population really hasn't changed that much in the past. Up 10 years.
Yeah,
It's probably the same people living there and they're having babies. It's about it.
probably. And they're not leaving the town.
Right.
all right, so I
No,
wanna
Brayton.
throw one at
We
you
have
guys.
Brayton bot. That's why we don't have Nightbot.
We don't have Nightbot because we have our own robot, the Brayton bot.
Nice.
What's up, Bobby?
So I want to throw this one at you guys because I think this is a big part of why Alabama has had such good success. What if Saban never hires Lane Kiffin as his OC?
You wouldn't get the Kiffin like blocking Saban to call a timeout. That was probably the best moment on the sidelines though.
But he knew
Yeah,
better. He knew, you know what I mean? He knew better though. He knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Saban was smart. Saban was smart enough to know, like Ogeron, to change his offense up.
Yeah.
He knew that he couldn't keep running. You can't just keep running your running back into a wall
Yep.
all game and expect different results. If Saban doesn't decide that, hey, you know what, I got to run some kind of hurry up offense to keep up with the Joneses. He probably doesn't win because
I think Kiffin's a huge part of
Ju-
that success. Huge part of it.
Did Kiffin recruit Tua?
I don't remember. I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
wonder.
But
I don't know.
'cause-
Dude, you've seen what good OCs mean to these colleges though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the OCs that can put a QB in a position to succeed.
to win.
Oh, dude, they're huge parts of why they either succeed or fail.
Yeah,
They're huge parts of it.
Saban was smart enough to know that he wasn't going to be able to run Derrick Henry.
What's up, Camel? 8 camel toes in the house. What's up, Camel?
So So yeah, he went and got Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin ran a kind of not really it wasn't a spread offense like LSU ran last year, but it was definitely a different offense than what Bama was accustomed to
Yeah.
years before that. So
Yeah.
I think Kiffin's a QB guy too. Like I think he's very good with.
Smart coaches know you got to change, you got to adapt.
Yeah.
That's what Les Miles didn't do. Les Miles did not adapt, and that what led to his firing. So,
When you don't adapt and people start passing you, that's like you say, Goose. That's when you have a problem.
Yeah, because if Les Miles would have ran a spread offense in 2016, they probably would have beaten Wisconsin and Auburn. So with the athletes LSU had on that team, but because they had Darius Geis, they had Leonard Fournette.
They had some cats. They had some dang cats on that roster.
They just didn't run the right offense. You got to run the right offense. I mean, you can't just. I mean, you can't.
But
it's a square peg round hole. I mean, you can't. I mean, it ain't going in, man.
Camel, I believe that's Goose's. Is that your national title jersey, right? That's the national title jersey, right?
Yeah.
That's the LSU title jersey.
That's Joe Burrow, man. You know, Joe Burrow. Our boy Joe Burrow.
he's
a Yankee. He's a Yankee. Came down here and helped us win, man. Damn Yankee.
Yeah. But you look at Alabama now, and you can still see a little bit of what Lane Kiffin started at Alabama.
Right, yeah, because look, these schools now have figured out, like Clemson, LSU, Bama. I know I'm missing some, but they know that they have to run some kind of up-tempo offense.
Yeah.
To succeed, especially in college. I don't think the NFL has gotten there yet, to that extent, anyway. But
the college offenses are fast. They're fast.
But I think it's coming. I think what Mahomes is doing with Kansas City. I think it's coming.
So Valhalla Sports Talk put a good one in the chat. He said, "What happens if Carroll doesn't get caught with his hand in the cookie jar? Is he still at USC? Alabama still have their last few championships? Would Alabama still have their last few championships?"
That's a good question.
Yeah, because he had built a powerhouse.
Dude, Southern Cal was a freight train when he was there.
Yeah,
and he was able to get.
That's the way it should be. Because they got kind of. I guess they got kind of
complacent.
What's the word I'm looking for? No, I guess they got. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, because I guess they got kind of like thought that they couldn't get busted. So they got
arrogant. They got arrogant about it, and they thought that they were never going to get caught
because they were USC But because he went to see because when Carroll went, because remember Carroll was in the NFL before, he didn't have that much success until he got Russell Wilson. So, but yeah.
Camel said he had a Georgia national title jersey, but it died of old age.
Oh, yeah. 1980. 1980.
That's pretty funny.
Although we discussed before, they should have won in 2017. They had the best team.
Dude, they absolutely should have won. Absolutely.
But they lost. They got complacent in the second half when they were up.
I got a what if Jake Fromm never left Alabama for Georgia? What if he was he in Bama?
No, he was a Georgia recruit.
Who was there? No, hold on. Was that? Hold on a second. Give me a sec.
All right.
Fromm left somewhere to go to Georgia, right?
No, he was recruited there.
He was a Georgia recruit, man.
Are you sure?
It was Jake Fields left Georgia to go to Ohio State.
You think of the guy that's went to Ohio State, the guy
Fields.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
So he left.
Well, first of all, Fields should have been starting. Over Fromm. Should have been starting.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
That was a
2018 season. I know why. I know why they did. I mean, Jake Fromm. They just went to the national title game Of course, they did lose, but that's probably why they kept. That's probably why they stuck with Fromm, because they won the SEC. They went to the national title game. How can you bench a guy?
I know. Camel said lost to a backup. Wow. Yeah. Like
they did.
He
Twice. Because remember, they lost to a backup twice because the following year Georgia played Bama for the SEC title, and that's when Tua got hurt and Hurts came in to back up, and
so
they lost
let's
that one too.
Fucking Georgia.
I was just is Georgia, do you think they'll ever be able to, like, will they ever get back to the days of like 2010 to 2012 when they were contending?
The Herschel Walker.
They're contending now, but I don't know about this year, because I don't know if they have the quarterback this year.
Well, like even though like they tend to be in the mix, right? Georgia.
Well, like I said, they should have won in 2017. They should have won.
Oh no, I know. But like it just seems like every time they get there, right? They're one of those teams where it's like I continually ask myself, how are they going to blow this game? How are they going to blow this game? Because it just seems like the last couple of times they've been put in big situations, they can't, you know what I mean? Like they can't come through. They just haven't been able to just like, you know what I'm saying? Like every time the spotlight's been put on them, it seems like they cave.
That's that next step though they have to take. You know, like with Mark Richt at Georgia, you know, he was winning 9 to 10 games every year, consistently, but he just couldn't get over the hump. They hired Kirby Smart. Kirby got him over that first hump. That's just one of those things. You got to win one, get lucky, and win one, and then the momentum starts rolling. Then you just start rolling through it. You know what I'm saying?
For like the last like couple of years now, it just seems like every time they're in the mix. Like, don't get me wrong, they have the talent and the teams to be in the mix, but it just seems the last few years now they've or I should say handful of years now, that when the spotlight's been put on them, they just haven't been able to like finish a game off. Like if the Bulldogs are winning by 10 in the fourth quarter, I don't have a lot of faith in them to be able to lock that game. You know what I mean? In a big game, I wouldn't have too much faith in them to be able to lock it down and get a W, because I've just seen it too many times where they cave.
They're just like they get right there, but they can't get over the hump.
I think they get too conservative.
They did get conservative against Bama. In the national
the fourth quarter against Alabama was stupid. Like, just stick to what got you there.
You got to win a game, man. You got to win a game and throw the ball, man. Throw the ball.
That's a Kirby deal, though. That's That's him not telling the offensive coordinator, "Let's go."
Because I mean, they had Sony Michel, they had Nick Chubb, and then DeAndre Swift on that football team. So that was a great Georgia team. And look, the Bama team was good too. I just thought Georgia was better that year.
Oh yeah, Georgia had the best talent that year.
Yeah, they just
by far
they did, but they had the best backfield running backs. Bobby says y'all got the wrong running back, right? You wanted the other one, right?
I wanted Chubb.
Chubb, okay.
I wanted Nick Chubb out of the two. I wanted. I was hoping that they would pick Chubb over Sony Michel. That's who I wanted, and I was hoping Chubb would fall to them, but he didn't. I was hoping that the Browns would pick that they would have gone D. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I was hoping for, but it just didn't happen. Like,
all right, so what if Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they don't come to New Orleans? Are the Saints even here?
Because you said after Katrina they were looking at moving the Saints to. And I know San Antonio's been wanting an NFL team since they built the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, Paul Tagliabue was smart enough to know that. I mean, if the Saints were going to fail, he was going to want them to fail in New Orleans because you can't move a team because of a catastrophe. Because that can happen with anywhere.
It would have been a bad look. It would have been a really bad look
on the league to have a team move because of a catastrophe. So he knew he was smart to know. All right, look, let him go back to New Orleans. If they can't support him, he can't support him, and then then we'll look at relocation. But
did the Saints play a few games in the Alamo Dome?
Yeah, they did that year. After Katrina, that Katrina year. But yeah,
Right.
but if Sean Payton and Breeze don't come here. The Saints probably will not. There's no enthusiasm. You don't have that 2006 season, so the Saints might not be here if that happens. If that didn't happen,
That's a good one. That's
because
that's
the Hornets / Pelicans probably wouldn't have been here either. They probably would have left too. And New Orleans would have been a city with no sports franchises. So they better get down on their hands and knees and thank God that Sean Payton and Drew Brees, for whatever reason, decided to come here. Because we weren't very attractive at that time. Look, let's just take Katrina out of it. The Saints were a bad football franchise. I mean, we weren't winners. So
were.
what's that? The Aints.
Aints, yeah. I mean,
it's funny, right? Because the Saints for years and years and years before Breeze, they were
they're bad.
They were bad. Like the same thing with the Patriots before the Tuna and before the Tuna and Bledsoe got there. They were bad too, man. I mean, they got smoked in that Bears Super Bowl. I mean, the Bears took them apart in that Super Bowl.
Look, the Bears were just on another level. In that I I was 10 years old, so I remember that game. You guys probably don't remember it, but
I mean, I've watched it back, and the Pats literally just ran into a better team. They ran into a buzzsaw.
The Bears were just, they just were unreal. They had the refrigerator. They had Richard Dent, Walter Payton, Jim McMahon, Willie Gault. I mean, they just had player after player after player after player on that team.
Yeah, and not only like like Hall of Fame talent on that. Yeah, they just ran into a better team.
The Patriots were a good team. They just weren't. They just weren't on that level at all. They just because they beat the Dolphins for the AFC title game.
That's right.
Because the Dolphins were the only team to beat the Bears that season, and it looked like they were going to play each other in New Orleans, but didn't happen. But a little side note, that was '85 season, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I still have my parents bought a VCR. I remember my parents bought a VCR in 1985. I still have the VCR. It still works to this day.
Nice.
It's how you buy the cleaner. You put the cassette in it, or the VHS, and it cleans the head, whatever it was. It's never been cleaned. It's never been cleaned. Which I'm not going to clean it because if I clean it, it'll probably break. So, but
it's dirt's holding it together.
The thing's almost 40 years old, and that's
awesome.
It's still it's a JVC.
So
that's awesome.
Kimmel brings up an interesting point, and we hit on this a little bit in another stream. But he said Breeze is going to get crushed this year. The O-line possibly, the O-line and the rest of his team possibly going to or could look at him a different way and give up on it. Like Kimmel,
we talked about that.
We did talk. We talked, dude. That is an absolute possibility.
I guess
because he apologized, doesn't mean everything's cool.
We're not going to know what happens until they actually suit it up in a game. Yeah, that's when you'll know. So you can speculate all you want, but when week one against Tampa Bay happens, that's when you're going to find out if this team has actually come together and say, all right, look, let's just put it behind us and let's win.
Yeah.
Because look, there's been players that don't get along for whatever reason, but you just come together for 16 games so But
Yeah,
it will.
you,
But it will
you
be
come together
interesting
for
to see.
16 weeks, and then you can just
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, nobody's gonna be invited to a crawfish boil on Sundays in the off season, so, but so,
It's
but
dude,
it is a good question now about.
it's definitely a possibility though. You're gonna see
Will
like
they be a team, or will they just be dysfunctional? And so, good question.
I think you're gonna see though. You're gonna see like, is Mike Thomas really gonna like lay out for that? When Drew Brees has to throw him a ball over the middle, and Thomas knows that he's gonna get crushed by a free safety.
Right.
Is he gonna overextend for that football, or is he just gonna let it?
Right. I mean,
fall?
do you want to win? Do you really want to win a Super Bowl or not?
Yeah.
That's just.
But dude, and you're right. Like you're right, Goose. Like the only way we're gonna find that answer out is to just you got to
Week
play
one.
it. You got to
Week one.
play and see what happens.
I mean, if they go out against Week 1 and they're dysfunctional and they dropping passes and they just
And the Bucks take him to school. Take him to school.
then that's when really, I guess the talking heads will talk and say maybe the Saints, maybe they're not a team. Then they're not on the same page. So
See, me personally, I have to see like an extended like if it's like a 3-game stretch.
yeah,
Like the first 3 or like let's say the first 3 out of the first 5 games they like, what I mean, like let's say like a stretch, like a month
Yeah, I
happens
understand.
and it's like you get like reports coming out and like if it starts translating onto the field, then you could be like, yeah, I think
there's
it's
something there.
Yeah, there's something there. It's a definite possibility though, because there is
It's a very
dude,
possibility.
the initial the initial storm that came from that was, oh dude, it was instant. It was there was like as soon as he made those comments, they were on him. Like it was quick.
Monday I talked about it. I said I don't know why he even did the interview because his team knew his stance. I don't know if they got pissed because he said it again because
Yeah.
they already knew what his stance was. They knew the team knew. The team knew how Drew Brees felt about it. He said that you should stand for the anthem, whether he's right or wrong, however you want to view it. That's the way he thought about it. And and he said it 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
of course his stance isn't going to change. His stance isn't going to change right now.
You know what I think? I think that was just Drew going into like corporate robot mode. That's what I think. It was just
Yep.
it was just him in corporate robot mode being his corporate self.
The good player, the good soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's what that was, and he didn't think like maybe I should just deflect the question and just not answer. Like he should have just deflected the question and not answered it.
He could have answered it a whole lot different than he answered it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
still said I support standing for the anthem. But he could have answered it a totally different way. But he chose not to go that route. But
Dude,
I
Kimmel.
would have said no comment. Look, I would say, look, 4 years ago I said what I had to say, and
No,
I stand
Kimmel.
behind my team.
Kimmel, you're right, dude. He should have just kept it to himself. He should have just deflected the question. It was just a bad, like I said, I don't even think it registered in his head. I think he just went into
Right.
that was just corporate Drew, like robot
Yeah.
mode. You know what I mean?
Mode, yeah.
That was just corporate Drew, corporate Breeze's robot mode. I don't even think and then like he started catching the flick and he's like, and then like it sunk in like that. You know what I mean? Then it sunk. Then it like sunk in.
Oh, I screwed up.
He was better off. He was better off just not saying anything.
Anything, yeah.
Or saying, I'm here to support my teammates.
Yeah.
I support
Yeah.
my teammates, whatever they want, however they want to, whatever they want to do. Because
However they want me to support them, I would support them. That would have
Yep.
like literally a
but
three-word.
me personally, I stand for the flag, but I
But-
will stand behind my teammates 100% on what they want to do.
It was just a bad. It was just a bad way to like.
I mean, people probably still would have looked bad at him because he said that he was going to stand for the flag, but at least he was said that I support my teammates. However
Yeah.
they want to demonstrate their their beliefs. So.
There are times when you're a professional athlete when you have to know better and when you have to know that somebody's trying to get a soundbite out of you. And
I
I think
know.
Drew should have. I mean, this is just me. I think he should have seen that was like an attempt at trying to get a soundbite out of
sometimes,
somebody.
Sometimes you
just-
gotta shut up, Bobby.
That, huh?
You gotta shut up sometimes. You
But
gotta shut
that's what I
up.
mean. Like you
Yeah.
gotta know, like as a professional athlete, when somebody's trying to get a soundbite
Just-
out of you.
Just go,
like it's- yeah.
just go
you know,
Marshawn Lynch.
yeah.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You know, when my wife's yelling at me, I just shut up and just don't say a word. You know, because it's better I don't say nothing
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
Just shake your
like,
head. And
no,
like,
but that's a perfect. It's sometimes you're better off just not saying anything.
saying a word.
Sometimes you're better off just not saying a word.
just
100%.
Yeah.
Camel Toes is married. He knows. Just don't say nothing. Just okay. Yeah, okay. You're right, baby. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Hey, Camel, dude, I respect Breeze too. The guy is he's an incredible athlete, and he is a good dude. But it's just you got to know when to like.
Yeah. I mean, he's not racist. I mean, people say
You
he's
got to
racist,
know
he's not
when you
racist.
should just not say
just-
anything. Like that was
No.
Said it.
that was
Know
just
the
a bad
situation.
that was just a bad decision on his part.
Know
Bad,
your si-
bad.
Know the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know the environment.
Absolutely. Know
Know
the
the
situation.
environment, know
Know
the
what's going
situation.
on in your surroundings, and just know when to deflect the question.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
So we got any more what ifs? What if?
I got one right here, man.
What do you got?
What if Rich Rodriguez accepts the Bama job instead of Michigan
Ooh.
in 06?
Ooh. Well, yeah, because he was going to Bama, and
That was
at first he said he was going to Bama. And I would say this: if he does accept
Yeah.
that job in 2006 to go to Alabama, Nick Saban would have been at LSU in 2007. Or 2000
really. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I-
right. You're right. He would have. You're right. He would have.
Saban wouldn't have gone. Saban would not have gone to Alabama.
No.
He still would have been to Miami. I think Saban would have gone back to LSU.
wow, I didn't think about that. Like LSU hiring him back.
Didn't they try? Didn't the Tigers try to get him there too?
Yes, from if I think it kind of leaked out last like 5 years that they. I mean,
I know they
were
tried.
they were doing so well with Les Miles in that 2005, 2006. Remember they beat Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl.
Yep.
in 06.
Yep.
So you can't really fire the guy. How are you going to fire the guy? I mean, so the LSU was caught in a pickle because
I think they were
Saban.
hoping he would slip, and they could go get Saban. You know, what I mean, they
Yeah.
could go get Saban.
Yeah, because you couldn't fire Les Miles after they beat after they had won the Sugar Bowl against Notre Dame. I mean,
No.
you couldn't do that. I mean, it just. I mean, you can't. I mean, who does that? I mean, I know who does. The Dallas Cowboys do that.
Yeah, and think about Rich Rod. You know, he's coming off the West Virginia. You know,
Yeah.
the Steve Slayton, Pat White.
Yeah.
He was really the first guy to really get the inside zone with
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of with a true athletic quarterback.
Yeah, they were running the spread offense back then.
And I mean, just going as fast as they can.
They were
Yeah,
one.
because-
They were
because-
one of the few. They were one of the few teams who were actually able to like adapt it to the cult. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
took it
because-
and they were able to like run with it.
Yeah, because offense, the colleges offenses back then were pretty much ground and pound.
It was, dude. It was all wishbone. It was.
It wasn't run punt like Ohio State back in the '70s, Woody Hayes. But it still was.
It was
I
wishbone,
formation.
wing T, and power I.
It
Those
still
were the
was-
three formations.
It wasn't like they were running the ball 50 times a game, but they weren't running 5 wideouts. They
Right.
weren't running shotgun formation every play. So, Rich Rodriguez, because he was at Tulane. He was at Tulane when Tulane went
Really?
undefeated in 1998.
I did not
And
know that.
because he was supposed to get the job. Because
Yeah.
Tommy Bowden was the coach at Tulane, and Rich Rodriguez was the offensive coordinator. So Bowden went to Clemson.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So Rich Rodriguez was supposed to get the head coaching job. This is documented that he was going to be, and then at the 11th hour, somebody in the Tulane athletic office or department whatever it is, makes these decisions, decided to, go in house and this guy Selfa was his brother had coached Tulane years ago, blah blah blah. So they passed on Rich Rod, and so Tulane probably would have done well with Rodriguez because that offense that he ran with Sean King. Sean King was the quarterback in '98 when Tulane went undefeated. They
were one of the innovators of that true like pro style offense too.
Yeah, the spread offense wasn't
Kentucky, because you got Hal Mummy, Tony Franklin, Mike Leach, all worked in Kentucky together.
Couch.
And Couch too, right? Yeah,
that's where the air raid really kind of got going. Yeah. Was the University of Kentucky,
late '90s.
Well, once they realized that, like,
if you can spread people out and put your athletes out there and
let them go make plays, it'll work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's when the focus too, like you see it, you could see it in the early 2000s. It shifted from like
you started to
you started to see the shift from like a lot of these power backs, like these power back driven teams to they were the slot guys, they were the more skilled, they were the skilled guy, it shifted from running back to receiver in the early 2000s.
That's why running backs really aren't. I mean, it's not like it was back then. You don't give a running back 25 carries a game anymore, like Emmitt Smith
unless you're Derrick Henry.
Yeah, unless you're Derrick Henry.
Unless you're just a freak of nature that's 6'2", 250 pounds.
Yeah, I forgot about Derrick Henry can run through a brick wall and knock it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah.
Camel says if I was a college trash talker, I'd call him one lanes.
One lanes.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's that early 2000s period in college. I think you started to see the shift. It was a lot of those. It went from wishbone wing T power I formations to that of a stretch block scheme and a more of a three wide set and more like focus on the scat bet. Like that shift was happening in the early, like I want to say like 98, 99 and early 90s to late, early 2000s to late 90s was when I think that shift realistically started to happen.
And you saw that happen in college and like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, all that starts trickling down to high school.
Yeah.
And you start seeing a lot more of the spread offenses in high school.
A lot more air raid stuff in high school too.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Because some coaches in colleges thought that, this is a fad. It's not going to last. Like Saban,
it's a trend.
Thought it was a fad.
It's a trend.
It wasn't going to. But then Saban realized after a few years, oh shit, I got to get a coordinator that can run this kind of offense.
It was like the Wildcat.
Yeah.
It was like the Wildcat.
It's a fad.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll go away.
They'll run it 2-3 times a game, but it's not gonna have prolonged success. No team is gonna win a national championship, scoring 40 points a game because their defense isn't gonna be that good. So that was the thinking. That you had to control the clock, run the football, play defense, win a game 7-3. But you can't. You got to score points. You got to score 30 points a game. To be successful. I mean, you can't just score 20. You can't win 20-10, 20-14, 20-17.
Not anymore.
So Brandon Rogers has presented us with a couple of things here that are pretty interesting. He said, "When do you guys think PJ Fleck heads for the NFL, and also Lincoln Riley, if they do, if Lincoln Riley does?"
I don't think PJ Fleck goes to the NFL because I think he's too quirky.
The rodeo boat's not going to work in NFL.
I don't know if Fleck could translate into the NFL. I think he would
the,
have
yeah,
a
the,
hard
the row
time
your boat,
doing
the
it.
row your boat works well with what he
with
does.
college kids, with
Works
college age
awesome.
kids.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley, I'm surprised he's not. I'm surprised he's not in Dallas right now. Actually, I
thought Lincoln Riley had a shot at the NFL. But once again though, he's a question mark. I don't know if that I just don't know if that style would translate. I
It's like Chip Kelly.
I have a lot of question marks on him.
It's like Chip Kelly in his offense. In the
but I
NFL.
know why Jerry Jones didn't pick him, because Jerry Jones really couldn't afford to, because I mean,
OU was paying him quite a bit of money, weren't they?
Yeah.
because I think Jerry Jones wants to win, and he couldn't go. I mean,
Why would you leave Oklahoma if you're Lincoln Riley?
He's I'm with you. Like
I'm trying to
that.
explain myself.
He's in a good spot at OU. He's in a pretty good
gosh.
spot there. Like you'd have to, in order for him to leave OU, he'd have to get a ridiculous offer.
There's a story. I was at a coaching clinic when he first got the OU job, and he's from Muleshoe, Texas, which is up in the Panhandle, little big town up in Panhandle, and he's talking to a reporter, and the reporter said, "Do you realize Bob Stoops has lost fewer home games than he's won conference championships? Bob Stoops has won more conference championships than he's lost home games.
At home.
Yes, when he was at Oklahoma." And Lincoln Ryan looked at him and says, "Well, I do now."
Yeah. Stoops just couldn't. He couldn't win that. I mean, he did win. He just couldn't win that big game consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The huge game when they played LSU for the national title.
See,
When he played Florida for the national title, he just couldn't. Stoops won a lot of games. Outside that one when they beat Florida State for the national championship, he just couldn't win that big, huge game
consistently.
Consistently, yeah.
Brendan Rodgers said, "I see a lot of Sean McVay and PJ Fleck." Well, PJ Fleck has a lot of energy. If you ever listen to him talk, holy shit!
I mean,
He has
he's a good motivator. I just don't know if that
Yes.
would translate
It just
over.
I think this is a big year for him. Coming off what Minnesota did last year.
Yeah.
They won. I think they won like 10 games. I think that past year. And
Won
they
10
hadn't won 10 games in forever.
and beat Auburn.
They beat Auburn. Yeah.
In the bowl game.
If he performs again, let's say they win 10 games or more again this year, I bet somebody from the NFL will go after him.
His stock will go up a lot.
Yeah, I think someone from the NFL will go after him.
If not in the NFL, somewhere like a bigger school.
A bigger school.
Yes.
A bigger school is going to go after him.
I know Minnesota's in the Big Ten, and so it is a big school, but it's not. It's not like
It's
like
not
a
in
Michigan.
Oklahoma. It's not in
Michigan,
Ohio
Michigan,
State. It's not any of those
Michigan,
big
not Ohio
boys.
State. It's not in Wisconsin. It's just.
But-
It's a very good school that you can win at. But I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you're good. If you ever listen to PJ Fleck, though,
Yeah.
he likes going to programs that suck. They're
And
not
making 'em
very
be-
good.
making 'em better,
And
yeah.
his whole thing is rebuilding. He loves
Yeah.
the rebuild. He loves the challenge.
Some
of
coaches
rebuilding.
are good at
Mm-hmm.
that, and when they get to the point where they're winning, they don't know how to go over that to
Yes,
the next level.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
They don't know how to take that next step to win those high pressure,
because they did kind of falter. They lost to Wisconsin. They did beat Penn State last
Mm-hmm.
year. That was a game I thought they were going to lose against Penn State, but they beat Penn State. They lost to Wisconsin, and they lost to somebody else.
Ohio State, Michigan?
Was it the Buckeyes they lost to?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, though.
If they played the Buckeyes, of course they lost to them. But yeah, because PJ Fleck, everybody talk PJ Fleck, man, but just
if if he performs well, like let's say they win 10 plus games this year too, I think his stock for some of these bigger schools is going to go way up. I
It's hard,
think
it's
they're
hard
going
to win. It's hard to win there because of there's no really recruiting base
Yeah.
and
You have to.
But
you have
that's
to
going to
dive
be even more
into-
impressive if he gets 10 wins this year with the talent that he's got.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I see you got a co-host, huh?
Furry ass out of my face.
Yeah.
Hey, do you hate that? I know our cat Macy. She comes and sits on me and puts her ass right in my face. I'm like, Macy, I don't want your ass in my face. Get away,
Yeah. You know,
damn pussy cat.
and talking about like PJ Fletcher in the NFL, it's a little different telling a 21-year-old
boat, yeah.
to row the boat than a 35-year-old to row the boat.
Yeah,
That's what
You know,
Yeah.
that's a
what
little
happened.
bit
You-
different.
You tell like a 32-year-old like 4 or 5 year NFL
Yeah.
vet to like go. He's gonna be like, yeah, row this, bro.
That's what happened to Saban when Saban went from LSU to the
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins. You know his
style.
what worked very well at LSU wasn't working with the Dolphins,
Well,
and
Yeah.
I think he realized that he made a mistake when he to go to the NFL because it's just not going to translate when you say
One of the college
those
coaches.
laps, run those laps.
Yeah.
Fuck you, coach.
I'm getting paid $5 million. Fuck you.
It's in
The
my
best-
contract. It's in my contract. I ain't got to run no laps.
In my opinion, the best college coach to translate his style into the NFL.
Jimmy Johnson.
No. I'm talking like to
Oh,
bring like a college style coaching into the NFL is Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
He went
Yep.
from
well, yeah.
he went from he still coaches the same way he coaches at SC in Seattle, and they've like completely like just embraced it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same coaching style that he had at SC. He's just brought it. You know they've bought in down there, but he's the
I got a-
only
I
one
got a-
that
I
has
got a
actually
question.
been able to do it.
I got a question for you, Bobby. I got a question for you.
What's that?
What if Belichick doesn't quit day one at the Jets?
Oh, I don't know. That's tough because they. I don't know. That's a tough one. If
he was going to go to the press conference, and he slid a note saying, "I'm out of
do you
here."
know how he resigned from the New York Jets?
What a note!
It was on a cocktail napkin, and it
Yeah.
was with a pen in it, and he wrote it down, and it said, "I resign as HC from NYJ," and gave it to him.
I was going to say, was it a Post-it note? You know, or
It was a cocktail napkin that he
That's
wrote it
awesome.
on. He wrote it on and slid it to him.
Yeah, I mean, Coach K. He was going to go to a press conference. He was the Jets head coach for one day, and he quits to go. Something happened. I mean, that's a big.
He
what
quit,
if.
and then the rest was history. They brought him into Foxborough.
Nobody will
and-
ever know what happened of why he was even the head coach of the
Oh,
Jets
I'd be-
for a day. And
I'd be willing to bet that there's only probably 3 people that know what fully happened that day.
Yeah,
Robert
fully,
Kraft.
what fully happened, not speculation. Oh, you know what what
Kraft,
really happened.
Kraft, Belichick, and who's the owner of the Jets?
I have no idea.
And the owner of the New York Jets. Those are the only 3 people that know the full story on that. Guaranteed.
I mean, does he make the Jets winners if he stays there?
He was making the Browns a winner before they
He
fired
was.
him.
Hey, look, the Browns won the division in 94, 95 before they left.
Didn't they go 11-5 in
11-5, 11-5, they won the
11-5, right? That year?
Yeah. Saban was on that staff.
You want to know why he left the Browns? Because the media forced him out. The media forced the Browns organization to force him out, to get rid of him.
Because they were moving to Baltimore and all the crap that was going
No,
on. With
well, no,
Mark
because
Goodell
he's a complete dick to the media, and the media, the Cleveland media hated it.
Well,
They hated the like you see you.
Is that why Saban is a dick to the media because he learned from Belichick?
You should. I'm telling you,
There's
the
something to it.
Cleveland
It
media.
is. There's something to it.
If Browns fans want to blame anybody for getting rid of Belichick, they should look at the media. The media couldn't handle Belichick's, being an asshole and being a complete like dick to him all the time. So they put pressure on the organization and the owners, and they put pressure on the organization to get rid of him.
He wasn't
And he
winning
did.
enough yet. So
And they caved.
Yeah.
The organization caved, and they got rid of Belichick, and they've struggled ever since. If I was the organization, I would have said this guy is winning with us. Deal with it, guys. Sorry.
yeah, because look, Saban wins, and he hates the media, hates it with a passion.
Belichick's still the same guy to the media here. He's still an asshole
Yeah.
to him. And what is Kraft just says, like, sorry, like he's just like, sorry guys, like, he is who he is,
Back.
like, but see, like the Boston media has I don't want to say they've embraced it, but they've got, you
But-
just get used to it.
The Boston media is a bunch of dicks too.
This is true. We are a bunch of assholes up here. I'll give you that.
A bunch of crusty assholes that spend 10 months of the year inside because it snows 40 feet.
That's pretty true. Yeah. You're not wrong there. Why do
you
you
know
think
what?
we're so freaking miserable then, and a bunch of assholes? Because we got to spend 9 months out of the year inside because the weather sucks.
Yeah. But you know what guy I'm real curious about and I'm a fan of is Matt Rule. I am a fan of Matt Rule because he did
I
such a
think-
good job of connecting to the high school coaches in Texas. And he he embraced us.
He's a question mark to me. He's an unknown. The potential is there.
Oh, it's there.
The potential is there to be really good. It's
He got Temple relevant. Think about that. He got Temple football back to being relevant. when
hey
he was there.
Brandon Rogers. It's funny funny you mentioned that because I honestly don't think Josh McDaniels is.
It's a good no.
I don't no. Well, I don't think. Well, here's the thing about Josh, right? He did that thing with the. He completely left the Colts at the altar there. You know what I mean? He gave up on
Right.
them, and then he had head coaching opportunities this year, and he turned him down, or there's all sorts of stories swirling around like I don't think anybody trusts him now after what happened in Indianapolis. And to be honest, you saw what happened as a head coach with him in Denver. Like the guy fell on his face. He's Josh McDaniels to me there's some coaches in this league that just make very good coordinators and they should just stay in their lane
Yep.
and make the money that they make because they're going to make almost head coach like money to stay a coordinator. Josh is one of those guys. I don't think he'll make good head coaching material, but he is an excellent coordinator.
Oh yeah, he's a much better coordinator than he ever was a coach.
Who's that?
So
Josh McDaniels.
Brandon Rogers
okay.
says, he said, I really think Josh McDaniels should have taken a Dallas or Cleveland or just taken a head coaching job when he had the opportunity. And I told him, I said, me and Coach were saying, like I said that he basically left the Colts at the altar. He abandoned that job, and then he had opportunities this year that down in Cleveland, and he made some demands that the Browns didn't like, and they told him no. So I think there are guys in the league that just make better coordinators than coaches.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some coaches just better coordinators.
But look, you saw what he did in Denver. The guy fell on his face in Denver.
Yeah.
He fell on his face in Denver.
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad.
The guy drafted Tim Tebow in the first fucking round.
I mean, Tebow had won the Heisman. He had a lot of
Tebow time.
there were a lot of question marks about his arm strength. But he was a winner. He was a winner at Florida. He was a winner. He won 2 national titles. He was a winner. So I get why they drafted him, but yeah.
I just there are some coaches in this league that just don't make good head coaches, but see, like that doesn't make them a bad coach.
No.
It just makes them very good in one specific area. like McDaniels is a very, very good offensive coordinator. Very good. He's very good at dissecting a defense and calling a game and not putting his players in bad position. You know what I mean? He's a very good offensive coordinator, and he could get close as a top notch, top echelon offensive coordinator. You could get close to head coach money. You might not get you might not get head coach money, but you're going to get close because they can hire a head coach that doesn't know as much as you and just have you do all the heavy lifting and pay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and speaking of guys who need to stay coordinators.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've said on this channel before, Bobby, Matt Patricia's on his last leg, I think.
The Lions?
Yes.
I think this is, if he doesn't perform this year, I think he's on the hot seat.
They suck. How is he going to perform? They have nobody in that team. I mean,
according to him and what I've read, that he was able to put together the guys that he wanted to get last year and this year. So according to reports, he's feeling pretty confident about this year.
Yeah. I got my players, huh?
As a Lions fan though, I would say, well, this is your third year. I want to see double digit wins, and I want to see us in the playoff hunt. That's what I want to see. Is it gonna happen?
No.
I think they're in a tough I think they're in a tough spot there because I think there are teams that are way farther ahead of them.
100%. 100% agree on that.
But this is his hot seat year. This is his hot seat year. He's if he doesn't perform this year, then he could possibly be out of there. All right, Coach. I think we got time for one more.
One more? All right.
Pick a good one.
Alrighty. Ooh, golly.
You got something written down there?
Oh, dude, I got 20 of these bad boys, bro. I got 20 of these bad boys. I spent my Sunday going through some of these things.
How'd you research it?
I just, it's stuff that came off the top of my head. Then I started kind of looking up what ifs, and Bleacher Report did a top 10 list. ESPN did a top 10 list of what ifs.
Okay.
What if SMU never gets the death penalty?
Ooh. Well, I mean.
Because they're just now recovering from the death penalty.
I mean, they just kept. I mean, they were the ones that really.
Oh yeah.
Took it to the next level of paying. Or players. So.
You know where Eric Dickerson was supposed to go?
A&M.
A&M. He was supposed to go to A&M. Yeah.
They
y'all gave him
Trans Am. Trans Am, baby.
And he didn't even go there. I mean, how many schools give a player a Trans Am
and
to
then
go to the school, and the player says, I'm not coming.
Thanks
here.
for the car, but
hey, and you can't say as a school, hey, we gave you that car.
Give it back.
Yes, you can't really say that. You can't.
NCAA, he's cheating us. We want our car back.
The funny thing is, if this is coming from the Pony Excess.
Yeah.
That 30 for 30.
Yeah, 30 for 30. Yeah.
It was and that's what another one of my favorite ones is.
Oh, no, that was an awesome one.
Is the boosters?
Because the governor of Texas at the time was part of the booster program at SMU, which is kind of crazy.
he was part of that whole thing.
The guy said, okay, hey guys, we got to stop paying these players. They said, okay, but the guys we already got on campus,
you got to keep paying them.
We got to keep paying them because we still have contracts with them.
Yeah.
So they kept paying them, and that's what caused the death penalty. And
okay. I mean, you want to stop, okay, but you got to understand, you can't just say, okay, we're not paying you no more.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to pay the players that you promised to pay, and,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
let it run its course and whatever. But yeah,
But
If they didn't never caught that though, that would have been interesting.
SMU, I think, would have won a national championship
if they had never gotten busted,
if they never got busted. If the death penalty never happened, I mean, again,
because they were paying to get the best talent in that area. So
we're in 2020, and they're just now getting to the point where they're competing
in their own conference.
in a conference. Yeah,
and they're like in the Conference USA or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, no, they're in American.
yeah,
I think the American.
yeah, they're in the
ACC.
American. They're in the American.
With Central Florida and Memphis and Tulane and
Yep. Yeah, man. It's like, but again, there's no excuse for SMU not to be very good because Dallas.
not in the conference that they're in, right?
Right.
Like Tulane should be competitive because of the talent. Because LSU can't get all the players in Louisiana.
People underestimate Tulane. They should be better than they are. They should be much more competitive than they actually
Because
are.
LSU can't sign everybody. They can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible for them to sign. So if they can just get the 3 stars that LSU can't, they're not going to go after, that are not going to go to Louisiana Tech or USL. Or I mean, Tulane could be competitive in that American conference. They could be.
And same thing with
not
Really,
only
I mean, if you
not only
look-
could they be, but they should. They should be.
If you look at the coach they have now, they've actually gone to bowl games back-to-back years for the first time since like the 70s. So the coach they have now is actually a very, very good coach. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody picks up on him, especially if they go to a bowl game this year, because Tulane's never ever been to a bowl game in 3 straight years. So if Willie Fritz can do that, you might see him
going
go
somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. I
Yeah.
hate to see it because he's been their best coach since they've had in a long time. So
A lot of these tonight have been like, but see, like this is the thing with a lot of these what ifs, dude. Coach, most of the ones that we've done from the start of this, like 1 or 2 small decisions, like swaying either way, and you don't see like it erases whole decades of great football.
What if Ogeron doesn't go get Joe Burrow
Yeah,
for 2018?
Yeah.
Ogeron's probably fired right now.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Or what if?
Because you're not going to win. You're not going to win a national title last year without Burrow, and you're not going to win the Fiesta Bowl in 2018 without Burrow. So Ogeron might be he might have got fired after 2018.
See, like the biggest. So people have been arguing too, like Burrow. Like the thing with Burrow is people say like, oh well, he had a surrounding he did have the surrounding cast, but like if you suck and your surrounding cast is excellent, you're still going to be terrible.
I mean,
you still got to be good. I mean,
Joe Montana. They say he's great, right?
yeah.
I mean, look all the cool. He had Jerry Rice, John Scale, Roger Craig. I mean, who did Joe Montana?
Who was
have
the he had an amazing tight end too on top of all the receivers.
Yeah, Brent
right?
Jones. Russ Francis.
Yeah.
Go back and look what Joe Montana had to throw the football to. But guess what? He still had to throw the football to him.
But that's my argument.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't throw the football like Joe Burrow.
See that's my argument. Like for Burrow is that you still got to be football smart. You still got to be able to read a D. You still got to deliver a football.
Read defense, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, I think Burrow's going to be pretty good in the NFL. I really do.
if he has an O-line to block for him,
Yeah.
and I think he has some receivers. He has. They signed T. Higgins, which I think was a great pickup
Yeah.
in the draft for the Bengals. AJ Green, he could have a few years left. They got Mixon, running back.
See, I think Mixon could have a good year this year because now the Bengals actually have a threat as a quarterback. You know, I mean, now they actually have a dude as a quarterback who people have to like watch out for.
But if he gets beat up his first couple of years, it's going to ruin him.
If he gets happy feet because the lines suck. Yep. Yep.
I got
But-
I got one question for Coach K when you get done.
But I'll say this: I've seen the few games I watched at LSU. When he takes off running, he got freaking just blasted a few times, and he's tough.
Oh,
Joe
dude,
Burrow is a tough football player.
So why aren't you a Texas fan living over there? Because you're close to Austin.
Why? Horns down, right, Coach?
Why are you not a Texas fan?
My dad played at A&M in the 80s.
He played A&M.
In the early 80s.
Okay.
He didn't graduate from A&M because he enjoyed College Station too much. But
okay.
he got recruited and he played when they had the freshman and JV in the varsity teams.
Okay.
He played at A&M, and a lot of my dad's family are Aggies.
Okay.
And so my grandpa's a University. He's a big Longhorn fan. And
Your grandpa?
My grandfather.
He's a Longhorn?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My-
That's awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
I lost my last grandfather when I was 15.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And that's why it's
That's awesome.
they're I'm actually closer to Tech. Lubbock's
Tech, yeah.
Lubbock's 2 hours from me.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Tech as much. I used to hate him as a kid, but I don't mind him as much just because I've been around that Lubbock area
Yeah.
most of my coaching career. But
But you don't like the Horns, right?
I'm not a big fan. Like if ISIS was playing in Texas, I'm rooting for ISIS. If the city
Man.
if Austin would just like disappear from the face of the earth, I would be okay with
So
that.
I guess I know who you're gonna be rooting for when LSU plays Texas.
Oh, dude, I was rooting for LSU big time when they played those freaking dumbasses from Austin. I can't stand fucking Tom Herman. I cannot stand that.
You don't
prick.
like her? You don't like Herman?
Yeah,
not the-
LSU fans, man. We wanted him bad, man.
God, he
did.
is a bona fide douchebag.
But I'm glad it didn't work out. Because
God, he's a douche.
you know that song by Garth Brooks? I think it's Garth Brooks. Unanswered Prayers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
God's
yeah.
greatest gifts. Unanswered prayers, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes when you pray, oh baby, will you please take me back? And she don't. And nope. Unanswered prayers, you know.
Well,
Sometimes
I'll say this: when Herman was going from Ohio State to Texas, there was a lot of A&M fans that wanted him.
Yeah.
like-
wasn't he at Houston coaching?
No,
No?
he was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State before he got the
I
Texas
thought he was,
job.
I thought he was the head coach. With the Cougars. Was he?
He might have been. He might have been. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure.
I thought between the bridge and the gap, I thought like 1 year. I don't know, maybe not.
He might have been. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure.
Because he was at Ohio State. I remember that.
Yes, and they won national championship with Ohio State.
2014.
Mm-hmm. And because they fired Brown and Sumlin, that was the midst of the Kevin Sumlin can't finish. Time.
Y'all would
And
always
so-
y'all would always go like 6-0 in September and
And
finish
when
6-5.
When it really mattered,
Yes,
mattered, he pissed down his leg and couldn't.
Why y'all bringing up old shit? Why the fuck y'all bringing up old shit?
When it really mattered, the dude peed down his
Yes.
leg and
Yeah,
couldn't.
Like
Couldn't-
he's doing the same shit.
I know,
In
and
Arizona.
it is so funny watching that happen too.
It's like it's like it's like wash, rinse, repeat. It's like
Yeah.
Dude, and there's Arizona was really excited about getting him, and there's a lot of Aggies said, just wait, no, it'll be different. it'll be different."
wait till you're 7-0. You're like, we're gonna do it. You're like, we're 7-4.
and disappointment.
7-4, and it's like a month of losing.
I tweeted something when we got beat by UCLA when they came back and beat us.
Oh, it was that game? Y'all were like, it was like 45-10 or some shit like that. And y'all lost. I remember
Yes.
that game. I was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I actually watched that whole football. I didn't turn it off because I said, man, fuck, A&M's gonna be good this year.
We couldn't stop the tight end seam route. We
Yep,
could not
and-
stop
and-
the fucking
and
tight
they
end.
and they ate you up that
Yes.
whole
Josh
second
Rose-
half,
Josh
right? Yeah,
Rosen.
they ate you
And
up the
then,
whole second half.
You know, the game got close, and then of course I really couldn't turn it off. Then at that point,
Dude,
and
it
then
was
when UCLA was like went ahead, I was like, holy cow, they fucking went ahead.
the
it was 45 to fucking 10.
dude.
or
It
something
was
like that.
it was it was. I tweeted like, oh well, at least they didn't can't disappoint you in October now. But I mean, it was like that. The UCLA game summed up Kevin Sumlin A&M
Yeah, it did. It
to
did.
a T, to a fucking T, because not being able to.
But that
finish
was
a
on the
game.
that was on the defense. I mean,
Oh,
you're,
dude, we have not had a good defense. When Kevin Sumlin got here in 12, that defense was okay.
Yeah.
It was serviceable to get stops. After 2012, when Mike Sherman's all his guys left, and it was all Kevin Sumlin's guys, we couldn't play defense worth a. We went through like 4 defensive coordinators in his tenure.
Yeah, wasn't that like a 6-year stint where you guys just absolutely
Dude,
just
it was
were
horrible.
horrid?
Like, we hired Snyder when he was at Michigan State. We hired LSU's old one,
Chavis.
Chavis.
Yeah.
We experienced 4th and Chavis. We experienced that.
Look, Chavis is a good coordinator.
Oh, he is.
He
You
is.
just- he has to have the
I mean,
cats though.
When he has to have talent. When he was at Tennessee, he had a bunch of talent when he was there, and when he was here at LSU,
he had
a
talent.
bunch of talent. So you,
It's
right,
just-
you got to have talent. You can't.
Oh,
just,
And
Have
so we had Chavis for 2 or 3 years. Then the one we have now, Mike Elko, he has done an awesome job. with that-
Y'all wanted
with that
to get
defense.
Randa. Y'all were trying to get Aranda.
Yeah, and
and
we
Randy
we made y'all's asses pay for him.
Oh yeah, we paid. Oh yeah, we paid. For him. Hey,
We
look,
made-
look, LSU won a national title, so I guess it's worth
Oh
it.
yeah, and he's at Baylor. He got himself a head job.
Yeah.
Off of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a head coaching job at Baylor. Mm-hmm. So I mean, when you win a national title, you can say it's worth it.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.
When you win, it's worth it. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you paid for the coordinator or whatever; it's worth it.
Because I do remember us trying to get our Dave Aranda, and LSU offered him like a ridiculous amount of money.
Over $2 million a year for
Yeah.
for a DC, which is unheard of. It doesn't happen.
Like that's head coaching money. You're paying your defense coordinator.
It's like, oh wow, I get that as to be a coordinator.
Yeah, and I remember that, and we hired Mike Elko from Notre Dame, and he's been awesome for us. Like
Elko probably would have came here. LSU probably would have ponied up and gave him if Aranda had decided to go to A&M.
I think Elko is one of those guys. He's going to get a head job before it's all said and done, because he's a damn good coach, and he has turned that A&M defense
You're right.
around from being god awful and like unwatchable to
being a serviceable, being serviceable,
being competitive and like being able to stop. Like A&M could not stop the run under Kevin Sumlin. If people were just going to run the ball, they would get 5 yards of carry under Kevin Sumlin. Mike Elko has made it.
A&M's D. It seems like there was a stretch there where A&M's D was just raw. Yeah, they were.
And
just
we
rough.
had fucking talent too.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Miles Garrett at one defensive end. You know, you had he's with the Panthers for a little bit. Deshaun Hall at the other defensive end spot. I mean, you.
Oh no, you guys didn't. No, it wasn't a lack of talent. It was a lack of coaching.
Yes, it was coaching, and I think the offensive scheme did not help the defense out because Kevin Sumlin wants to go as fast as humanly possible.
Oh yeah. No, there was a stretch where A&M's D was rough.
What my favorite?
The Wrecking Crew.
Oh, dude. Oh, you know about that one, Bobby? The Wrecking Crew in the
90s.
late '80s and early '90s,
Yeah.
under R.C.
No.
Slocum and Gene Stallings. A&M wasn't very good offensively during that time, but their defense was elite. They had an elite defense. And I mean, the nickname of the defense was the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Nice.
So think about like some of these schools that like should be good and not like Nebraska. What happened to Nebraska? I mean, Nebraska used to be like
They-
in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Nebraska was like, they were like, awesome,
Dude,
man.
even in the late '90s, Nebraska was pretty good.
And
You
now
know what?
now they suck.
You want to know my opinion on that?
What
They fired some coaches they shouldn't have fired. for one.
They fired coaches they shouldn't fired, and they can't recruit Texas like they used to. Because Texas was Nebraska's big recruiting ground. Because I mean,
Well, is
I
that
mean,
because the coaches are better in Texas now than they were?
I think Nebraska makes less of an effort. I think since they joined the Pac-12, they recruit more
Or the
like
Big Ten.
California.
Big Ten.
Oh, Big Ten. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They'll recruit more like California in that area. They really
Yeah,
don't.
but there's more talent down in Texas than there is
They-
in Northern California.
I don't think they dip their. I don't think they go into Texas as much as they used to.
And then
Like-
they
Well, they should.
Oh,
the
no doubt.
I know the offices they ran back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s aren't
The wishbone, baby.
isn't successful
The
Yeah.
wishbone.
the way
It was
is.
all. I remember Nebraska in the late, mid in the '90s. They were
They
were
destroyed
power
Florida.
eye wishbone,
The-
and wing T, and it was all run. It was all run with them.
The last time Nebraska was good was Bo Pelini in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah. Bo that's Bo Pelini was here as our DC when
Was-
we won in 07. And,
Was Ron Dane Nebraska?
that's
No,
Wisconsin.
that's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. All right, but yeah. All right, Wisconsin. Yeah.
You're thinking of probably Lawrence Phillips, that convict. didn't he kill somebody? Lawrence Phillips?
No
Or
idea.
he just did something. He was in jail. But when the last, I think it was 95 was the last.
Like I remember
Few times they won the
I
title.
remember Nebraska in the late '90s just being a big,
Strong
powerful
football team.
power
Because
run
they ran- 'cause they-
power
because
run
you
team,
ran
and
the
they,
foot-
and
you
they
ran
were
the
good.
ball
They
back
were
then.
good. They were good.
And they were one of the first programs to implement strength conditioning.
Really?
Because back in the day, the old theory was muscles make you slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And so they did like a little thing on game day about the strength and conditioning coaches, and
I remember that.
the guy at the University of Nebraska like told Coach Osborne, "Hey, this is gonna work. You're gonna get faster." He says, "If you don't, you're fired."
Just
You better hope it works.
And so, but Nebraska, Oklahoma beat them like a drum the year before, and they went down to Oklahoma and beat Oklahoma like a drum because they were bigger, faster, and stronger than OU.
Michigan is another team that's really another school that hasn't done. I mean, Harbaugh has got to be on his last leg, man.
Dude,
Oh, dude, they
he has yet to beat Ohio State. He has
This
yet
has
to
gotta
beat.
be his last.
Michigan will not beat Ohio State this year just because
No,
the game
no
the game
chance.
is gonna be in Columbus, and they're still gonna have, I mean, quarterback's still gonna be there at Ohio State.
A lot of that team is coming back. A lot of it.
Michigan they're another team that's really they haven't been
One of those
good,
blue,
man.
one of those blue
I want
bloods.
to. I want to say since that Brady Quinn year, they've really struggled. Like really
The
struggled.
Brady Quinn, that's Notre Dame.
Wait, am I getting my?
Yes, you're getting your teams mixed up.
I'm getting my teams mixed up. I'm sorry, guys. But Notre Dame's another one that struggled too. Like
Yeah.
they haven't done much
But
either.
they were there because they haven't won
Dude.
a title since the '80s. Michigan won in '97.
Michigan, wait, didn't they? So
You think Tom Brady? You think your boy Tom Brady with Michigan?
2011 was the last time Michigan beat Ohio State.
yeah, that's what I mean. Ohio State's owned them.
Owned
They-
him
for a
owned
while
him.
now.
Owned him.
And
Yeah. You're thinking of your boy Tom Brady, Bobby.
the 2011 year was the first time in 7 years Michigan beat Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State's owned him in the past like 20 years.
But like, there's a handful of teams to me that come to mind when you think of them, and it's just
Blue
like,
Bloods.
man, like they've fallen way off. Like
Texas Texas, Nebraska, Michigan,
And think about this.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, like so. Yeah,
I mean, they're supposed to be blue bloods, and you go back and look at the last time those teams have won national titles, and look at teams that have won multiple since then.
yeah,
Like LSU. LSU's won 3 since 2003.
Even you could even, dude, you could even throw the Miami Hurricanes in there.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been good. They haven't been good in a while.
And they have not since when they left the Big East to go in the ACC. They have really struggled to win.
Recruit.
To win. They've never won an ACC title.
Yeah.
And since they left the Big East, so maybe they were good because they conference they were in, but I still think they're not recruiting like they should.
Yeah, and they
Hey, hold
should.
up, guys. We got a question from someone new in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Calvin.
Sorry.
He says thoughts on ASU and Herm Edwards.
I like her.
I like him. I didn't think he'd work at ASU because of the recruiting because of
I
the
like Herm
recruiting. But I like Herm Edwards. I think he's doing
I didn't
heck of a job.
when he got hired, I'm like, what the F are they doing?
because the recruiting. It's a new deal for him.
I
But
think,
he's a-
I think he because I think didn't they beat Oregon last year? I think it was Arizona State. They beat Oregon. They kept Oregon out of the playoffs. Yeah.
I think there's potential. I think there's definitely potential there.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely
potential
potential there.
Like I said, like what Coach K said, when he got hired there, I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
You know?
I was like, really, Herm? Really? You're
guess
going to Arizona State? All right.
He proved a lot of people like he did. Like he shut a lot of critics up. Like he did pretty good there.
I guess I'm the one that's an idiot, right?
He did though. He did pretty good though. I do think there's a lot of potential there though. I think there is.
Oh yeah, but
they can win there. I mean,
Yeah.
especially with USC down, UCLA.
Yep.
I think.
And it seems like UCLA and USC are kind of on the downswing now.
USC won't be good again until they get a new coach.
UCLA has Chip Kelly, right? Still.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I have no faith in that guy. I don't know about you guys, but I have no faith in that guy.
Nike. I think Nike was the reason why Oregon was good.
Well,
the money from
Nike.
Phil Knight, yeah.
Nike. It's the money from Nike.
Them being able to build some of the athletic facilities they're able to build.
The recruiting money, the backing from Nike.
That's why
uniforms, you know.
That's why Jimbo Fisher left Florida State, because Florida State wouldn't build him a football complex.
Yeah, for
the team, right? The team complex, right?
And so A&M they just like built the Bright Center, which is the football complex, and A&M was able to basically promise him all this stuff.
Yeah,
let's go.
You know, when Saban came to LSU in 2000. Saban told LSU, okay, you need this. If you want to win, if you really want to win, you need this. And LSU said, okay, and they invested and they built what Saban said, and you saw what happened. They won a national title in 2003 with Saban, and they won in 2007 with Les Miles, and they won in last year with Orgeron. So.
These top eight teams, the top 8 teams, definitely there's a formula there that just works. It just works. There's a formula there.
If you want to make money, you got to spend money. Okay.
But remember, 8 years ago, the term Clemsoning.
Yeah.
Losing a big game late. That was a term. Yes.
That was a big,
yes.
That was a true statement. And look, I remember when Dabo got hired there. I'm like, this ain't gonna last. His rah shit, you know. He was the row your boat before
PJ Fleck.
Before Fleck was.
And by God, I mean it took Dabo a while, but
He finally go over the hump.
This shit's working. And for one thing, the ACC has to get better. I mean,
Florida State has to get better.
Miami,
Yeah.
Now,
has to get better.
I'll say this: Mike Norvell at Florida State, I like him. I think he's going to do some good stuff.
Look, I think Mac Brown at Carolina is doing well.
He's doing some good stuff.
So maybe
Brown's a little more of a question mark with me though. But if you look he's a little bit of a wild card.
If you look at what he's done there, he's recruiting very well for them.
Oh no, he's definitely bringing
them,
in. He's
for
definitely
them,
bringing in
for
a good
them.
a good crop of guys.
He's played Clemson better than anyone.
That's true.
But if you go look at the recruiting rankings for just for the ACC, go look. I'll use 24/7 as a base model.
Yeah,
as a base model.
Their composite rankings.
This is a base model where you comparing apples to oranges, apples to apples. But I mean, if you look at Clemson's ranking and then the team like 2, it's like night and day. It's like not even close. No wonder why Clemson wins because it's just. They'll sign 5 5-star players. Nobody else in the conference signs 1 5-star player. You can't have that. You can't have that in order to compete. You can't have it.
Well, here's this right here. I just pulled this up. Clemson is obviously number 1 in the ACC. North Carolina's number 2.
2, yeah.
Yep.
But if you look at the overall, North Carolina's number 5 right now, but they have 10 4-stars and 5 3-stars committed right now.
Yeah. So once again, you could tell the recruiting's there. The recruiting
I looked at the Big Ten title, the Big Ten recruiting, and Ohio State had like all these 5-star recruits, and the only other team in the Big Ten that had a 5-star guy was Wisconsin. Like no wonder why they're winning. I mean, when you're getting the best players, like Bobby,
you know what it is? It's a talent monopoly. It's a talent monopoly.
It's like with LSU. They had 14 players drafted. No wonder why they won this past year.
Well, but you also have to develop that talent.
Oh, you do. You do, right.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you got to get them in.
So before we end this, I got a question. What team was better, the 01 Miami Hurricanes or the 2019 LSU Tigers?
If you look at if you go just if people, some of these guys are probably too young to know the players they had on that team, but they had Jonathan Vilma, they had
that 01 Miami
Dorsey,
team was ridiculous.
They had McGahee.
Was it Marvin Harrison was on that team?
Yep.
Marvin Harrison. Who was the quarterback on that?
Dorsey.
And Reggie. Harrison? Was it Reggie Wayne?
Wayne, yeah, Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne was on, and who was the other receiver opposite Wayne? He played in the NFL too, didn't he?
Probably so. Whoever he is. But both those teams had NFL players on that roster.
Who do you think was like? I think it's close.
That'd have been a good game.
Yeah.
The 01 Canes versus the 2019 Tigers.
I think Sean Taylor was on that 01 team.
Oh, Andre Johnson was on that team.
Andre Johnson. Yeah.
Jeremy Shockey, Clinton Portis was on that team. Daryl Jones.
Yep. Warren Sapp on D.
No, Sapp was. Sapp wasn't on that. Was Sapp on that one?
No, Sapp was Sapp was probably in Tampa Bay at that time.
Yeah.
No, he was. No, you're right. He was in Tampa. No, that was after. Before. You're right. Correction. I'm wrong.
They might have been a little bit better on defense. I think the offenses were pretty
even.
Similar.
Because at tailback you have Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, and Frank Gore all in the same backfield.
Oh,
God. That 01 team was loaded.
Vince Wilfork was on that team.
Yeah, Wilfork, yeah.
Yeah, see, it wasn't Warren. It was Vince. Yeah.
Big Vince was on that team.
Their defense, like talent wise, might have been a little better than LSU's.
Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Jonathan Vilma, like just Chris
Just
Campbell.
stacked, dude. Stacked.
Yes.
There's probably like 6 Hall of Famers on that one team.
Yeah.
That's hard to say because you got recency bias because I mean we just watched the 19 LSU just run through.
I mean, because when you play the game, you're playing the game as they are right now, like not as they were NFL players. So you can play them as they were college players and college players.
Yeah.
So,
That's tough.
it's tough because I think Miami might have had a better defense than LSU at that point as college players.
Yeah.
But so
I
but,
would
but,
give.
but I think offensively, I think they're very similar.
I was just like I'm Goose. I'm with you. I think offensively it's a wash. I think they're pretty even there.
It might have been on who threw a pick.
Yeah.
Who threw a pick in the fourth quarter?
Or fumbled it
Yeah.
going in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that would have been a good game. The 0-1 Canes versus the 2019.
If they could play like college, because you can't go. Oh well, look how great he was in the NFL. Now you want to go like how they played at that point in college.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Just team versus team in the college game.
Yeah.
You also have to look at the era too.
Yeah.
You know, the 2019, the offense is completely different than what that 0-1 Miami team saw.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the spread offense wasn't really popular yet. So they're still dealing with the ground and pound. Let's get 10 in the box and
10 in the box and eight,
you know,
put 8 in the box.
8 in the box, and we're going to play action off this. I mean, it's a totally different game when those guys play than Joe Burrow and these guys.
Yeah. No doubt. But it's like 11:45, and I gotta get up in like 4 hours. So
Oh, you're young, man.
Dude, yeah.
I'm not young anymore.
Wait,
yeah.
what are you doing? You're doing a KBO tomorrow? You doing a KBO game tomorrow?
No, I gotta go to work.
How about the damn stuffed animals they put?
That was funny. That was funny.
Someone has a sense of humor. Someone has a sense of
I
humor.
saw the cardboard cutouts, but I didn't see the stuffed animals. I got to go on YouTube and look at it.
Someone has a sense of humor on that deal.
That was the funniest thing I've seen.
I think that's ingenious. I think if the MLB can ever like come together with what the hell whatever they want to fucking do.
Oh,
they should
dude,
do that.
I'm worried. I think the players could go on strike.
And
Hey,
remember,
Kelvin, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that.
I remember, 3 months ago we were saying MLB was going to be the sport that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, I said MLB was going to be the one that was going to come back. I said 100% they're coming back.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? Hockey is the one that's going to die. And look at it now.
But again, I blame that on leadership.
I don't think that we're going to get a season. I think the players are going to go on strike. I don't think we're going to get a season.
92, Volume 2.
94.
94? My bad. 94, Volume. I was 3 years old.
Hey, Goose,
sorry about that.
they're not going to recover. They're not going to recover half as good from this one.
They won't recover. They won't recover like they did. Because they're not going to go back on the steroid.
Yeah,
So
I'm about to say,
No.
bring back the steroid era. That's the only chance you got.
Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, dude. They have to. They have to
They gotta
play.
play. They gotta play because
They
you're gonna
have
lose.
to.
Any casual fan, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because we are basically halfway through June.
Dude,
Yep.
They have like the the NBA and NHL are starting up at the end of July. They're starting up at the end of July.
July or June?
July.
July.
Okay. See, here's my thing though, man.
I don't know why. I don't know why is the NBA taking so long?
Here, so one more right. Like here's the thing. Baseball. Here's what pisses me off about the MLB. Right. This was their golden opportunity to take advantage of this. And they would have been the first sport to come back. They would have had 2 months to themselves of no competition. of no
And
competition.
Their ratings would have been freaking sky high.
Oh,
like
dude,
you
they would have
said,
been
because of no
astronomical. They would have been the
Oh.
only sport besides the UFC. They would have been the only sport outside of the UFC which runs once a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one big fight a month, and you
But
got
that's
like
what I'm saying. So
three or
they would have
four
had-
small ones.
They would have had next to no competition.
First time in their history, they're not having to fight the NBA or the NHL.
Yeah, and they blew it, and they blew it.
It's leadership, man.
Yeah.
Their leadership is not very good. The NBA's leadership is elite. The NHL's leadership
Dude, Adam
is good.
Silver. Adam Silver handled this. Adam Silver, I think, out of all the commissioners, handled it the best out of all of them.
Adam Silver is about the only one I would trust to run a business for me and have success.
It's absolutely lack of leadership. But why
Oh, yeah.
why the MLB is playing?
Floundering, yeah. Yeah, he might be worse than Bettman. He will be, because if let's just say NHL comes back and baseball does not, well then yeah, you got to put Bettman above Manfred.
It just blows my mind. It blows my mind.
I mean, what really got me was that when the owners proposed a 50-game schedule. Like, what the hell, man?
Why? Are you,
How are you gonna find who the best team is at the 50 games?
it takes you 50 games just to get warmed up.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, basically the month of May is a wash because
Yeah.
you're figuring out who can play and who can't.
yeah.
Oh, dude, A-Bomb, Goodell's a joke. He's a joke.
Boo.
Goodell is an absolute joke, dude.
Boo.
He's terrible.
I'm not really high on Silver either, but Silver is probably better than the other four. But
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
I mean, it's just it blows my mind. It really does. Like
Yeah.
and Bobby, you've said it. Me and you've talked about this, and you said on streams before. It's billionaires
arguing
with
millionaires.
millionaires. And
That's right,
what,
man.
And
It's just like
that's the
come on.
problem.
It's like come on, guys. Like we get there's a risk. We get that, but like just come together and figure something
Bobby,
out.
there's no risk, Bobby. They're letting people protest 2 inches apart from each other, and the CDC has said nothing.
Nothing.
Hey,
No, I know.
oh,
But
I saw-
you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, though, right? It's like, come on, man. Like, just figure this crap out.
Have you noticed?
Leagues. The
have
other
you,
two
have you,
leagues.
Have you, I mean, I'm not making this trying to political, but have you noticed since like the protests are like gone away? Now everybody is talking about the COVID again. How you got to social distance now.
well,
But you weren't saying that before.
The cases are back up. Yeah, I saw that. But dude,
Oh,
no,
dude,
the
it's all
funny.
like-
Give me a break, man.
But it's just like the baseball. Baseball blew this opportunity.
Yep.
They had a golden opportunity to be the
they
first.
could have come back July 4th weekend, man.
They had a golden opportunity to be the first one back, and to have no competition through most of the summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they blew it.
I mean, it's just again, like I said, it just blows
Hey,
my
you
mind.
saw
dude.
with NASCAR. NASCAR is going to have fans.
Yeah, I saw
Really?
that. They're going to let fans. Yeah, they're going to let fans
Really?
on the tracks. Yeah, I did see
Yeah.
that.
See,
Yeah,
Limited amount, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah,
But
I
it's-
saw.
baseball blew this, and if
Mm-hmm.
and if the players strike, and if the players, this dude, I tweeted this out. I said if there's no baseball, blame the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Blame the owners. Blame them.
Well, it's not a national tragedy because baseball's been losing fans for years.
Look. 94 was really when they started. Before, if you go look back, before
I'm
90
shocked that they
before-
came back the way they did from '94.
Before 94,
Hey,
baseball was doing
steroid
very
era.
well, man.
Though
Baseball was. I mean, you gotta look at it in a lot of ways because this is before all these like the Cubs. When I was a kid going to school, when I came home from school, guess what? I could put on WGN. Boom, they're the Cubs.
the
They're
Cubs.
the Cubs.
Who?
They're
What
the-
channel
and the-
was?
and the Braves? And the,
What
the
channel was
Braves-
Atlanta on? I was going to ask you. What channel was
TBS?
TBS? Right, because
TBS, yeah.
Turner.
And the
Because
Braves,
Turner owned them.
and you put the Braves on at night, boom. They're the
Yeah.
Braves.
Yeah.
See,
And you lost that, and you lost that when teams started having their own little networks, and so
and because I remember my boss, the superintendent of my school, he's a big Braves fan.
Yeah.
Because again, growing up,
you watched them.
On TBS, they
You
were the
watched 'em.
only show you couldn't get the Rangers game, you
Yeah.
couldn't get the Astro game. You would watch the Braves.
You watched the Braves and the Cubs because they were nationwide. If you had cable, TBS and WGN was on every cable network nationwide. So
Yeah, that's
the
where there's
Cubs
so.
my grandpa used to watch the Cubs all the time. So
But like that's the most frustrating thing to me. Like the NHL now has a plan. The NBA now
has a
plan.
plan.
The Major League Soccer has a plan.
Hey, the NCAA has a plan.
The soccer slash
That's-
football over in the soccer over in the UK. All the Premier Leagues. They're like. It just seems like baseball, the MLB
No
has just
plan.
been left in the dust like this. Like it's like, come on, man! Like, get it together. Get it together.
No.
The most backwards ass organization, the NCAA, has a plan.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying. Quit talking. Oh, we want to do this. We want to show me a plan. Show me you want to start on whatever June 19th. Show me a plan. How are you going to start on that date? And
Yep.
the NBA has done it. NHL has done it. NASCAR has done it. And Major League Baseball is saying, well, we're going to do a 50-game schedule.
Dude, they can't
80-game
even come to a
schedule,
decision yet.
114
They
game schedule.
reproposed like an 80 game the other day.
And it got rejected again. It got rejected again. Dude, like I have no faith that we
Out
are
of
going to
zero.
have a baseball season. I have no faith. It sucks too. But like
Yeah.
I have no
Prove me
faith
wrong.
that we're going to get a
Prove me
season.
wrong.
I got no. I was hoping we have one just so the Astros would get beamed by baseballs and it'll be over. Just
Yeah, I
just get
know.
it. Just get it over
Get it
with.
over with.
Get it over with and move on.
Oh,
Get it over with and move
if
on.
we
They were
have a
good. Yeah,
season,
they
you
were
know
gonna
the
get beat.
Astros are going to you know like Bregman and all them dudes are going to be
Altuve,
catching
yeah.
baseballs
They
in the
were- they were
ribs
gonna
for
get-
a
they were
whole
gonna get
month.
beamed. Yeah,
Oh,
that
there's
was gonna happen.
100%, dude. They
Oh yeah. The
A-bomb, the
first
players,
game of the year
A-bomb, the
was gonna
players
happen.
unions know better. The players unions know better than the owners do. They neither side wants to give an inch in a situation where you like every league, every major league outside of baseball has realized that this is a giant shit sandwich and it sucks and they're going to lose it and we're going to lose a ton of money, but we just have to bite the bullet and just get a season done and move on. And you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those scenarios where you have to just bite the bullet and deal. And they don't, for some reason, both sides want to be difficult and both sides don't want to give.
They
and
want to
it's-
win. They want to win, and they don't want to. They want to give an inch.
Yeah.
I want to win. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking lose.
But I'm telling you, if this continues, if they reject, if both sides go back and forth one more time, we're probably going to see a strike. We're probably going to see a strike, guaranteed.
Yeah, and I think the casual fan will be gone. And then you might see the fans that the diehards that have teams in their region say, you know what, fuck baseball.
Yeah.
true. I do own this shirt, by the way. If you're wondering, I do own this shirt.
But the casual fan like me,
Yeah.
we have no baseball team here. I mean, would it really kill me if MLB died? No, not really. Would I be unhappy? Yeah, I would be. I mean, I'd be upset because I've been watching baseball forever, but
A lot of it too.
I have no team here to like my.
You're rooting interest,
There's no
right?
rooting
Yeah,
interest,
there's no
so
rooting
it's-
interest because you
right.
don't have a team. Yeah.
I think, oh my
And-
god. But
And you know,
They're gone, yeah.
I've been an Astro fan my whole life, but between like
dog
Oh,
wants to go outside.
06 and 2010, 2010, 2000, or 2012, 2013, I probably watched 2 Astro games during that stretch. I mean, honestly, like when I was a kid, I never watched baseball.
Yeah.
My dad would sit in front of the TV and watch the game, but like I couldn't watch a
Don't
full
watch that.
baseball game.
They just, it's
I'm done.
it's the most infuriating thing in the world that they had the opportunity first to come back.
Yeah.
Like the opportunity was right there for them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they-
The 4, yeah, they had the best one.
Out of the 4,
yeah.
they had the best chance and the biggest opportunity to come back first.
And I thought they were. I said they're coming. They got to. I mean, they got
Me
to.
too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, baseball's going to figure this out. It's April, and they'll be back by June. They'll be back by June.
And the NHL will be the one that's like floundering. And
Yeah.
look what's happening. It's reversed.
It's just
I just-
like I put the jinx on everything. I'm the one that said the NHL was dead, and
It's that's what infuriates me is that they have blown this golden opportunity. And you know what? It's a microcosm of how baseball has gone since 98. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a microcosm of how it's gone since 98. It's like, come on, guys, like come on, man. You got to
It's-
figure this out.
and I hate saying it, but it's the truth. It's an older generational sport.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, it's the get off my lawn, protect the game. We're gonna look at stuff that happened in the 40s because we will treasure the game.
They
Evolve.
have tried. They have
Evolve
tried how
the
many
game.
times to say, all right, let's put a pitch clock in. Let's do these small little changes that won't
Oh,
change the integrity of it.
Yeah, the true.
It's
They,
to replay.
they've suggested.
It's
they've
to replay.
suggested small little changes to the game. Small, and I mean like small changes
Mm-hmm.
that won't change the heart of the game, but just literally all it's going to do is speed it up a little bit. And
but-
the Players Association and they don't. It's like the
Get
players
off my
themselves are part of the
lawn.
problem. They're
Get
part
off-
of the problem.
It's the get off my lawn guys.
Yep.
It's the get
Yep.
off my lawn. I mean, they're stuck back in the 60s, and everyone else is moving forward past them.
Yeah.
If I will tell you right, the most Red Sox games last year that I called were about 3 hours and 50 minutes to 4 hours and 4 hours and 15. That's where they all kind of fell in, right? That's where they all kind of fell.
100% anonymous.
But-
Football
but it's
is
like-
America's sport.
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's who has that kind of time now? They have
No one.
got to get that game time down to like 3.5, 3:45.
Well, it's
They have to.
I've talked to you about this on the stream before. You know, that's why Cowherd was talking about when the World Cup was going on a few years ago, why he thinks soccer is going to pass baseball 90 minutes.
Yeah,
It's an
from
hour and a
start
half,
to finish. Yeah.
90 minutes, hour and a half, in and out, you're done. And there's action. There's always action. I mean, he basically said soccer is what we're moving towards because it's constant action. There's no dead time.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
could
dead time.
I could absolutely understand that. Baseball has got to change.
my
They
way.
have to make some changes. They have to work.
Get my way.
It's just I don't see him because again, it's the old guys that run it that I don't think want it to change.
Yeah. Well,
Nope.
or they're afraid of they're afraid of the soul of the game being altered. And it won't. But see, this is what they're trying to get them to realize, that these small little changes are simply to speed the game up. It's not to change the soul of the game. It's to just make it move a little quicker.
I'm sorry,
Well,
baseball guys.
If you can like you know how when the player at a bat, okay, throw a pitch, okay,
Yeah,
just the bat and
but
glove.
that's what they're trying to
adjust
eliminate.
the bat and gloves,
Yeah.
adjust the bat and gloves, and you the pitcher throws like 20 pitches because you foul off. Adjust the bat and glove, adjust the bat and glove. Come on, man.
It
So Kelvin's back. So welcome back, bud. He said, last question, guys. Will Will Boise State be a Mountain West contender this year?
Yes,
There always are, huh?
Yeah,
I
because
think,
there's
dude,
no one
I
in the
think that
Mountain
program.
West.
I think that program's been a contender for years now. I think I'm going to go with yeah. Like I don't think there's a reason why they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, will they ever get to the point where maybe they can, will the Pac-12 will ever entertain adding them?
they don't offer anything else besides football. Though
Besides
that's the
football,
problem.
yeah. Besides football, yeah.
You know, that's why like the Southeastern Conference wouldn't take who was it? Oh no, I'm sorry, not Southeastern Conference. The Big 12 wouldn't take TCU for the longest time
Yeah.
because they could only really offer their football program. Well, your
Right.
basketball, baseball, all your programs have to be
Have to matter, right? Have to matter.
yeah. And at the time, TCU's football program was really, really good. But besides,
Yeah,
other than that, it was
this isn't like the long time ago where it didn't matter really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean now when there's money involved in TV contracts and
you have to be able to compete in
right,
everything.
you can't just have football.
I mean, I don't see why Boise State wouldn't be. I mean, I think they're always right there in that.
In their
they're
conference,
always right
always.
there in that division. They're always like for years now. They've been
They're
they've been
the
a solid football team.
I think I saw a stat. They're the winningest program since 2000.
Since I saw that since 2000 they're I think they're now tied now in wins with Oklahoma since 2000.
Yeah.
All time and since 2000. But I mean,
For-
I guess maybe the guy's question was, can they like get a New Year's Six bowl game? If they go undefeated this year, they
Yeah.
probably could be
If they go undefeated or
I
one
got
loss,
large.
like what UCF did, Central Florida.
yeah.
And,
If they go undefeated or maybe even one loss, they might be able to get a high bowl game.
I don't know. I don't think they'll make the playoff top four,
No.
but
They'll get a high bowl.
definitely-
They'll get a good spot. Like they'll
They
get a high
definitely
a high
will get
ranking
in that.
bowl game.
They'll definitely get that New Year's Six bowl game.
Yeah.
Remember, Boise State was one of the teams that really caused this playoff to happen.
Yeah.
You know, of what would happen if you let these guys in the
If you
to
let
the
one of
dance.
these other guys in and
Yeah,
they punched
in-
punched a top four in the mouth. Yeah. Yeah.
and let's invite these guys to the dance and see what happens.
I'd like to see a team like Boise State go up, at least just have a shot. Have a shot, David versus Goliath. Can you punch this team in the
Can you do
mouth
it?
for one game?
The playoffs going to have to expand to 6 or 8, and you have to almost reserve a 1 or 2 at-large bids for those teams. Is the way you could do it. Only way I could see you could do it.
If they're undefeated, like the American, they're one that's Tulane's in Central Florida.
I would like to see that.
If they're undefeated, then they should. If you go to 8 teams, yeah, then they'll be. If they're undefeated, they gotta be undefeated. Then yeah, they'll be guaranteed a spot in that top 8.
Your Power 5 champions get in, and you have 3 at large. And obviously, like Notre Dame
has to be there because
they have to have a spot for
Notre Dame
Notre
is not in
Dame.
the conference. So
Here's what I think about Notre Dame and them not being in the conference.
yeah,
But I understand because they don't want to give up the TV contract with NBC.
but
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, it really was advantageous to be independent because you can relegate your own schedule.
Yep.
But now with the TV money, like you said, there's TV money. Why is Notre Dame not in the Big Ten or the ACC?
Money because the NBC contract.
That NBC contract that they own is huge.
They own.
It's
It's like Texas with the Longhorn Network.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
That's why though, Goose. That TV contract that they have
it's
with them
huge.
is massive.
Massive.
But you see, like 3 years ago, they agreed with the ACC to play the majority of ACC teams
yeah.
outside of like 2 or 3.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Navy
well,
and Army, I think.
you're dipping your toe into the conference play, but you're still independent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jordan-
that was the big question mark. Of, like, let's just say all these schools said, okay, we're only going to play conference games. Okay, with the coronavirus.
So what?
Where does that put Notre Dame? Because Notre Dame is not in the conference.
Or Army.
Or
They
Army.
would have to. You know what? They would have. I bet they would. You know what? I bet they would make them do. I bet they would make them designate the conference they want to play in.
Yeah, Notre Dame would have to do the ACC schedule.
They would have to. I think they would have to designate
because
ACC.
they are playing Clemson.
Because doesn't Notre Dame play in the ACC and everything else?
I think so.
Basketball,
Yeah.
baseball,
I think so.
track,
Yeah.
everything
Yes.
but football. They play in the ACC.
It's either that or the Big. It's either that or the Big East. It's one of them.
I'm pretty sure it's the ACC.
Because-
I'm pretty sure.
Because they're in a conference in every other sport but football,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
makes no fucking sense to me at all.
Not
Dude,
into today's
It's the
time.
power of that TV contract. They
Oh, I
don't
know.
want- they don't want to mess that deal up.
Oh,
They
I know.
don't wanna mess that
I
up.
mean, years ago, they used to have like 20 independents because it was you could really help your scheduling out. It was different. It was different times back then. But now, with the TV contracts and everything's I mean, look what the SEC makes. Every team
per team, yeah.
is divided by 14, or if you're 14,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Like-
even Vanderbilt.
How much
Vanderbilt
money?
makes-
5 million? No, it's more than that, isn't it?
It's more than
It's
that.
like
I think it's
15 or
like
20,
I think it's
isn't
like
it?
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of
I
money.
think it's like
Coach K.
9
It's a lot of
and a
money,
half.
Coach. It's
Per-
a lot of money.
Per school.
I think it's
Per
9.5
school.
per school.
Because
think.
whatever the bowl money is and all that, and about it all goes in a pot, and they all divide
That
by 14.
that was the big reason why
Why you
A&M
left Big 12?
the 12
Yeah.
because
Because Texas wanted
they
more
want
of
to
the
share.
pie.
They wanted 60% and they gave the rest of the Commerce 40%.
Yeah. They wanted the Kings rant the
Yeah,
Kings
that's
share
why
there.
I don't understand Oklahoma why they bend over to Texas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I could go on a rant on this for because the Big 12 commissioner does whatever he can to appease the University of Texas.
I was just gonna
That's
say
why.
that Texas runs the show like
They
like,
run it.
They
Yeah, like
they
they run-
fart. They
Yeah.
fart, and the commissioner award them a national championship. I mean, and you but it's so stupid. Like, look at look at their rankings every
Yeah.
year. They're so fucking inflated. Sorry, going on a rant.
You're good.
Big East.
I know, dude, but it's all true. It's all true though. You're right.
Okay,
You're
All
right.
Notre Dame's in the Big East conference in basketball.
I thought so.
So I couldn't remember. I knew they joined the conference with all the other sports, but I couldn't remember.
It's the Big East, right?
I
Big
thought it
East,
was-
yeah.
And I knew like the ACC, they played like 7 or 6 or 7 ACC.
It's 6, right?
Yeah, ACC teams, and they play USC every year, Stanford every year, Navy every year.
I think Navy, yeah, Navy.
I would love to see Navy beat Notre Dame again. That would be awesome. I can't.
That game was supposed to be in Dublin, Ireland this year, but they moved.
I remember that.
Yeah, they moved it, right? They did move
moved
it, right?
to Navy's on-campus stadium.
There you go. Going
Which
to
is cool.
Annapolis.
I would love to go to Army or
Army
Navy.
Navy.
Game.
Oh, I do too.
I would love to go to an Army Navy game, the one that's like in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be
At
awesome to go to, man.
Lincoln Financial.
Oh, that'd be. I mean, to see the cadets and the midshipmen walk in, all the guys that are protecting us. Those guys. Those guys.
My buddy graduated from West Point, and he got to go. Obviously, being a cadet, 4 years of Army Navy. He said it was one of the best experiences in his life.
I'd love to go to a game like that, man. Because those guys, those guys are. I mean, for like 60 minutes, they're on opposing teams, but they're really not.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right.
They're really not.
It's a
What's-
great dude. It's on a it's on a bucket list for me to go to an Army Navy game.
Oh, I would go. If somebody said I got tickets, dude. Like, all right,
Let's
I'm
go.
flying out.
Let's go. Yeah, let's
man.
go.
Go Army.
Let's go.
You know it, dude. I'm sorry, but
Go Army. Beat Navy.
I'm sorry. Black Knights all the way, dude. I'm sorry. I'm
Hell
sorry,
yeah.
Navy guys, but
But
I'm an Army guy.
but yeah, man, it's
I would definitely go to a Army Navy game, and I would probably enjoy
Just
it.
the atmosphere, dude. The atmosphere around it, I bet, is awesome.
It is.
Oh,
Probably-
yeah.
probably is. Just because like those guys, they're competing for 60 minutes, but then once that game ends, they're all on the same team.
Oh, they're all on the same team. Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
they're all on the same team, man.
oh yeah.
I just want to go for just to experience, like, dude. I bet it's like an experience, like, you know what I mean, like the pregame, the dude. I bet the flyovers are all
Yeah.
like just the
Like, like I
flyover.
said, like when you see the Army cadets walk in and the Navy
Yeah.
guys walk in,
Sing
yeah,
second.
let's go.
Gotta sing.
be awesome.
Want to sing second.
Yeah,
Right, you're right. You're right. You want to sing second. That means you won the game. Yeah, I was so happy because Navy had won like 10 in a row
yeah.
a few years
Then-
ago, and
then
Army finally won. I was like, oh, that's awesome that Army finally won, man. I was pulling for them.
Then
I'll say the Navy puts together a pretty good squad. Like that team's a pretty good team.
Montalola does a awesome job of what he because
I was like, wait, don't they get like the same kind of athletes, really? Pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah.
but they have to stay within the academy guidelines on top of the academic guidelines.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's a whole different set of like requirements they have to stay within in order to stay on.
There is a rule. I didn't know this a few years ago. If a player gets drafted, like in the NFL, in a certain amount of rounds, he can forego his
Service
military career
Really?
and go
Yeah.
to the NFL. Yes.
to go
Really?
to yeah.
See, I remember like Dennis Rodman. I'm sorry, David Robinson. Robinson
yeah.
got drafted by the Spurs, but
Yeah.
he couldn't join the team until after he fulfilled his 4 years.
The NFL's different.
Yeah.
If you're drafted like in the first like 2 or 3 rounds, I
They-
forgot
they'll-
what
yeah,
Really?
I forgot what it is. But you can, if you get drafted, then your service can like you don't have to you can get out of that
Really,
if
because
you want to.
Because I know once you walk through the doors your junior year,
Yeah.
you commit 4 years of service to the United States military.
It might be first or second round. I can't remember.
That's correct. I didn't realize.
Because there was a player like about within the last like 10 years that got drafted, highly rated either Army or Navy, and they were able to get out of the service agreement.
Hey, Notorious, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. We just try and come on here and talk sports and hang out, man. We're just about having fun and doing our thing. But thanks for the support, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate
talk
the kind
about
words.
the Longhorn Network. I decided, I'm gonna watch that Rose Bowl again between USC and.
because it's on right now.
Yeah, I went on YouTube. I went on YouTube and because the YouTube has everything, right?
They showed
You know-
that
you know-
game and the fucking 2011 A&M Texas game every
Funny, YouTube,
other day.
YouTube has all these games,
Yeah.
that they have, and they keep taking off the LSU Clemson game.
Why?
I don't know, because copyright infringement.
Does it keep getting taken down?
They took mine off.
Did they really?
I had it unlisted. And it's not a copyright strike. It's it's
Claim,
not like
a claim. Yeah, they claimed
copyright
it.
claim.
They claimed it and took it down. Yeah.
Right. They take it's not a copyright strike where it like goes against you, but it's a copyright claim. But for some reason, but they show all these other games on YouTube, which makes no sense. Doesn't make any. I have it downloaded to my computer, so if I want to watch, I can watch it.
Yeah, true. Or the SEC network's going to show it because they show that game once a week.
They have nothing
Usually.
else. They have nothing else to show.
Oh,
so,
no doubt.
I mean, they have to have a filler now. So
Oh no! Yeah, I'm excited for media days to get here.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be virtual, right?
Yeah, it's going to be virtual, I
Is
think.
it? Oh, is
Yeah.
it? I
Yeah.
just knew they were doing them. I didn't realize it was going to be virtual. That's awesome though.
But
Oh man,
thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me for
Yeah.
like 3.5 hours.
nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's 11.
But this was a lot of fun, man. It's like we said it in earlier in the stream. It's like one or two decisions go either way, and like you get or you lose. These
Man,
dynasty teams
Man,
in college.
StreamYard takes a bunch of power out of your iPad.
Does it?
I was at 100% when we started. I'm down to 35.
Oh dang,
It's even
Dude.
worse it's even worse on a cell phone.
dude!
Is it really?
I'm down. I'm on my Mac. I'm down to 37%, and I have the thing plugged in.
Yeah, StreamYard takes a ton of whatever it is. They take a ton of power.
It's probably the bandwidth. To combine. It's probably runs on wicked high bandwidth. With the green
Yeah.
screen, capabilities and stuff like that on it, I guarantee that's probably what it is. Just everything running with it. I think that's a huge part of it.
True.
But thanks again, fellas, for hanging out. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Notorious, good to meet you, man. Hope we catch you around some other streams. So welcome to the channel,
all up,
bud.
man.
A-Bomb, thanks for hanging out with us for a while, man.
Sub us all up, man.
Absolutely. Check out the other two gentlemen in the stream too, Notorious. Both of these dudes are good.
Yeah,
Are
I've
good
been
people.
I've been quiet this week because of I do work.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But thanks again for hanging out with us, guys. Appreciate all y'all. Karam been here for a while too. Anonymous hanging around as well.
Nice.
But thanks again, guys. Appreciate all the support. But for now, for me, Goose, and the coach, we are out of here. Y'all have a good night. Deuces. Peace.
Gig 'em.
Go Tigers.